Peace and blessings. Make sure the audio sounding right, family. Got this right there. Yes, I. Peace and blessings. Make sure the audio sounding right, family. All right, it sounds like we sounding pretty good. You know what I mean? Hold up. All right, it sounds like we sounding pretty good. Give me a one in the chat if you can hear me clearly. Your boy Shalom chiming in on the ones and twos. It's a blood clot vibes. Yes, family, we outside with it. We outside with it, family. You know how we do. Yes, I. We outside with it, family. Yeah. I got some feedback. We're going to get it right and make sure audio something. Now, it sound like we good. I'm listening to myself on the phone. Yeah, it sound like we good. Sound like we good. Outside vibes. You done no king. I got to get a better chair than this, though. Oh, man. Y'all can hear me from back here? Let me know if y'all can hear me from back here, because, boy, y'all can hear me from back here. We good. Oh, yeah, y'all can. Oh, man, yo. I want to shout out. I want to give a major shout out. Let me know if y'all still hearing that delay. Let me know if y'all still hearing that delay. You good now? Okay. Got that from Dreadful Cosmon. It sounds like you are talking twice. You back with the delay. Make sure we sounding good. How we sounding now? We still sounding like we doubling up? You good. All right, Jamia. Appreciate you. That probably was coming from my phone right there. Salute to the goddess Jamia in the building. You know what I mean? We definitely got empresses and goddesses in this thing. Shout out to Tikva. Shout out to Pam in the morning show. You know what I mean? We outside, fam. I decided to come outside today. It was nice out here. You know what I mean? We got the original Omiya in the building. Salute to Oahspe College University. I heard you last night on there at the towards end. They tried to shit on you or whatever. But you kept your composure. You actually played them. You was getting under Quanar's skin. You had that boy upset over there. But nonetheless, man, good job for keeping your decorum. You know what I'm saying? You good. Peace to the righteous God. I see you, the elder God. You know, I be having problems pronouncing these names. Y'all already know. So don't press me. But you know who you are, the elder God. Salute. Bazel, I see you. Jamia, I see you. Dreadful, I see you. Peace to the fam chiming in. You know what I'm saying? So I just decided to hop on for a second. I want to talk about the victorious landslide that Mally had last night. You know what I mean? On Naphtali channel, yo, that shit was embarrassing, man. To be honest, man. That shit was highly embarrassing the way she got cut. You know what I'm saying? We was on it for 2 hours, and we spent those 2 hours talking about one subject. We could have went through numerous of subject matters within that time period of 2 hours. And, you know, we grown folks, we got shit to do. So, you know, time is precious. We got to try to get that shit in, you know what I mean, on the spot when we can. But what was it to me is that when she asked for archaeological evidence from the Oahspe, and he pulled out the Gobekli Tepe, and then he showed and proved out the book, and then made the correlation. And then she tried to come with her correlation to Gotepi being connected to Noah. And where she lost that, where she got badly daggered and cut at, is when we got on the timeline. That was the end all be all right there, because now the timeline according to the Jewish Encyclopedia, according to Haaretz, which is the Jewish media, and according to the very book she even sourced, the timeline of biblical history, it showed that the Bible is not, that the creation of heaven and earth is not even 6,000 years old. So, if that's not even 6,000 years old, how are you going to say that Gotepi is the time of Noah when it predates your biblical creation story? See that? That's where you're fucked up at. Because if we was to go by the time calendar that they said that, you know what I mean, it's not even 6,000 years yet, that will place, let me pull up my calendar. Let me show y'all an illustration. Hold up. Damn, do I got that joint? Let me make sure I got it. I'm sure I got it. Let me see. Hold up. What I'm about to show. Oh, okay. Yeah. This is what I wanted Malaki to show last night, but we ain't get a chance to because, you know, things be moving quick. Now, check this, right? First, let me start off with the arc cycles. Let me start off here. Let me share my screen for a second, yo. Let me share my screen. What you say? What you say, Ima? That's hilarious, of course. That shit was hilarious, yo. All right, let me share my screen real quick. That's why there's no rush to go over there. That shit, that's a waste of my time, man. You can't even admit when you get cut. Come on, man. We respect honesty and humility, you know what I mean? We respect that shit, but when you acting and faking the funk, we can't respect that. All right, so check it. We talking about the time of Osiris. We were talking about Gopeki or whatever, right? Gotepi. So now, this is a chart of the timetables of prophecy. This is the arc cycles. This is from the creation of man to the present time. If you notice, you see the arc of one. That's the name of the arc cycle. You see the earth, and you see it has the creation of man. And then you see these numbers. Now, the time of Pepi, whatever, you know, I have trouble saying that shit, is this arc cycle right here. The time of Osiris, the 21st, right here. See that? Right here. This is the time of the flood, the 17th arc cycle. So we have time measured in arc cycles. That's what the brother was trying to explain. But I don't think they could really understand it because they're not familiar with it. And you have to give them an illustration on a timeline like kind of like this, where they can see the numbers spread abroad and see how the earth will travel through these arc cycles. And then they can see the time periods in history. Now we scroll down, right? We got the earth in the 10th arc cycle. These just a couple of illustrations just showing you. We got the earth in the 17th arc called the Ark of Noah. This is the time of the deluge and the flood. This is 25,000 years ago in the Oahspe. But keep in mind, the biblical story starts at 6,000 years. This is the biblical story of creation is the 23rd arc cycle. That's 6,000 years ago. But the 17th arc cycle is 25,000 years ago. So we got way better timeline than little creation. Now, you see that's just the 23rd arc cycle. When the earth entered this arc cycle right here, this is the arc cycle that the Egyptian and the Sumerians and the Hebrew Israelites, all that arose during this time cycle. This arc cycle, the 23rd arc cycle, called the Ark of Spita. And this arc cycle is from 3950, basically 4th millennium BC to 1500 BC, right? Now, this is the 23rd arc cycle spread out. Now, if you notice, the Hebrew calendar starts at 3761 BC. 3761 BC fits within the parameters of the 23rd arc cycle. Because if you notice, the 23rd arc cycle starts from 3953 BC to 1553 BC. That's the time period of the 23rd arc cycle. But look, the creation story of the Hebrew calendar starts 3761 BC. So by the time Noah comes around, look at the time of Noah. That's 2106 BC. Gotepi predates this. Long before this, we're talking 12,000 years ago, and here we're talking within 6,000 year reach. And to put the icing on the cake, the time of the flood is the beginning of the Middle Kingdom. The beginning of the Middle Kingdom started roughly around 2000 BC. So basically, you would consider this the intermediate period, or the ending of the Old Kingdom going into the Middle Kingdom. And this is supposed to be the time of the flood of Noah. And it's supposed to be the time of Gotepi Pepe, when all the animals are supposed to be coming off the boat, the whole hoax of Noah. So right here, we exposing that the Hebrew calendar is flawed. That should only go back for us to Oahspe. Your creation story is within the confines of Kemetic history. Look at this. Look at this again. See, look. Start of Hebrew calendar creation of the cosmos, 3761. Look at this. Narmer is 3200 BC. Narmer predates the flood. Now keep in mind, Narmer is the seed of Cush and Ham. So Narmer would have had to come after 2106 BC, after the flood. You see how their time scale is off? You see that? Narmer was supposed to be up in here if this is correct, because the flood is 2106 BC. So that means Noah, Shem, Ham, and Japheth would have been coming on down here. But this is during the Middle Kingdom of Egypt. Narmer predates Noah. See that? This is bad. From Adam to Noah, 1,656 years from the creation of the cosmos to Noah. All within the confines of the 23rd arc cycle. This is the 23rd arc cycle. And this is going on. See, 23rd arc cycle, 2,400 years, the arc of Spita. That's displacement right here. This is where we at right here, the 23rd arc cycle. This is when their creation began. Within this spectrum between the 23rd and the 24th is when their creation story began. But we already got the flood going on back here. We already got the first era of civilization going on here. Their creation of heaven and earth starts here. We already 22 arc cycles in. It's sad, Joe. See that? And keep in mind, this in the Oahspe is the time of the rise of Anu Hassas, the false god, who gave you this creation story. Even the Oahspe coincide with the time period of the false god who gave you the 7-day creation story, the Amuna Elish. And this is the 23rd and the 24th arc cycle standing side by side. See, look, you got the creation story coming on down. This is, look, now again, like I said, this is Noah. See, it says the time of Noah, 2106 BC. But look at the time period. This is the Middle Kingdom of Egypt. There was no flood of Noah during the Middle Kingdom of Egypt. You cut. You cut. Look at that. You cut bad. There is no Noah. There was no flood during the Middle Kingdom. The only flood that they had was the migration of the Hekekasut coming into Egypt. Yeah, man. That was ugly right there. That was ugly. This is the 24th arc cycle. The 24th arc cycle. The 24th arc will start from 15. This is the time of the Exodus. This is the time of the New Kingdom. This is the rise of Baal, Israel. So showing you we got the histories mapped out. We don't have no wiggle room. We're not confused on what the time period is. We know exactly where we at. You dig? So Mally cut a bad with that, yo. Cut a bad. Cut a bad. That's right. 12,000 years old Max Oahspe. Exactly. Now let me see what else we got here. Let me go to the this is the cycle of Osar. Right here. See that? This is the time period of Gobekli Tepe right here. I did a documentary on this. 10,553 BC, 353 BC to 7,053 BC, 12,000 to 9,000 years ago. This is the time of Gotepi Pepe. This is the time of the cycle of Osiris, the study of physical science, astrology, astronomy, natural philosophy. That's what was revealed to man at this time period. They go to time period right here. You see what it say right there? 10,353 BC, right there. Time, the cycle of Osar, or Soray, 12,000 years ago. See that? And look, this is what we was talking about yesterday. The 21st arc cycle, the cycle of Osar. Gobekli Tepe. See that? This time period fits Gobekli Tepe. And this is in Turkey. This predates Egypt. Oh, Kemet this, Kemet that. This is two arc cycles before Kemet. Now we was talking about Osiris. Osiris the first, Osiris the false. This is the clarity. The Ark of Dai, the Ark of Spitza. Oahspe explains the two Osiris. You had the Etherian Orion god Osiris, and then you had the Osiris of Egypt, who styled himself Osiris. Oahspe reveals that. Again, here we see it. This is the time. Look, 10353. This is the time of Gobekli Tepe, and this is the cycle of Osir when he brought astronomy and observation to man. This is the time of Osiris right here, 2700 BC. This is two different time periods that we're dealing with. See, this is why they got to read Oahspe, because if they read Oahspe, they'll understand when we talk about, when we say these things, that you have an Osiris the first, and then you have an Egyptian deity that styled himself Osir, 2700 BC. And another thing, let me see something real quick. Let me see if I can pull up. It's a verse in the Oahspe in the Wars Against Jehovah, where they talked about bringing back the Osirian cycle during the time of the 23rd arc cycle, the Book of Wars. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Let me see if I can find it where they say that real quick. But yeah, that was bad because the time. That's why Oahspe gonna beat them up every time when it comes to the time period, because their time period is off. So all that shit she was talking about, Gotepi and the flood of Noah, you could throw that in the trash. That whole presentation got to go because it predates your time that you placed with Noah, and that's what. Let me stop real quick. And that's what this was about. Let me hold on. That's what this was about. It was the Oahspe versus the Bible. Malaki showed from the Oahspe a time period of 12,000 BC that coincided with the time period that Oahspe said that observation and astronomy was given to man at this particular time. Mali showed it from the Oahspe, then he showed the archaeological reference backing it. What she would have had to do would show the exact same parallel in the Bible. You would have to show us in the Bible, Gotepi going back to 12,000 years, because that's what they have it. So you would have to show something in the Bible going back to 12,000 years ago, and then connecting what Gobekli is about. And they say it's an observation, right? You would have to connect that in the Bible. Where in the Bible do they talk about an observatory where they observe the stars? Where is that at? And if you was to say Noah, well, then you still going to be off, because Noah comes after that. So Gotepi would have been here. If that was the case, Gotepi, where that map at? Right here. This right here. If that was true, Gotepi would have had to come after 2106 BC. 2106 BC. Gobekli Tepe would have had to come after that. Gobekli Tepe would have had to been here somewhere. If this is the time of flood of Noah, Noah lasted how long? How long did the flood of Noah last? A couple months, several months, right? Not even a year. So that means it would have still been this same year of 2106. You don't see nothing about no Gobekli Tepe down in this time because it predates it. So everything you said about Noah and the flood and Gobekli Tepe is completely off the grid because the time period is off. Oahspe showed you the time period and showed you a reference to that time period. You don't have that. Your time period of the flood is 2106, which means you have to show evidence of Gobekli Tepe 2600, and you can't because it predates it. So you cut bad. You bleeding right now. You bleeding. Yeah, they weren't listening. She got cut bad. Peace to the righteous God, Malaki Maccabee in the building. Peace to the God. Yo, Mally, if you want to hop on, my nigga, hop on. Yo, let me drop the link in the chat. You know what I mean? This is how we do, man. We don't sugarcoat shit. You know what I'm saying? Let me show this right quick again. So we showing and we confirming that her time period is off. Anybody want to hop on, I'm going to open the line in a minute. We showing right here her time period is off. Right? The Hebrew calendar starts. Let me zoom in. Start of the Hebrew calendar of creation, 3761 BC. He confirmed that. Let's confirm it again. Let's confirm it again. Hold up. See, look, we ain't making this shit up. 3761. What does it say? The starting point of Hebrew chronology is the year 3761 BC. What it states, the date for the creation of the world as described in the Old Testament. This is in your Bible in the Old Testament. They say that the time period is 3761 BC. This is 3761 BC right here, right? The beginning of the 23rd arc cycle starts 3953. The arc cycle is older than the creation myth. But when we scoot on down over here now, this is the flood right here. This is the flood. The flood is supposed to be 2106 BC. 2106 BC. Let's see what's going on 2106. Watch this. Watch this. Watch this. Middle Kingdom of Egypt. Let's get a time period. Look what it states. Look. This is the Middle Kingdom of Egypt. Look at the starting date of the Middle Kingdom of Egypt. 2046 BC. 2040. This is 100 years after the flood of Noah. So it is the beginning of the Middle Kingdom. Ain't no goddamn Noah over here. And we pulled up the hoax. Malachi destroyed her with the hoax, the Noah hoax. Showed that whole shit was a hoax. She ain't even do her research. She ain't even do her research. I threw Mally that alley hoop like, here you go. See, this way, look. Admitting Noah's hoax. Mally killed it. So we already exposed that the time period is off right here. That the flood of Noah and the time of, according to their calculations, Becky would have been this time period, 2100 BC. But it's not. And then we showing that the Noah Ark was a hoax. It was a hoax. The nigga lied. Where he get the where he get the wood from? Where that part at? Man, that should have me dying. That nigga got the wood from Los Angeles. Where that part at? Where the nigga got the wood from? But nonetheless, Melly broke the shit last night. You know what I mean? Right here. Look at this. From Jamal's perspective, the deception was painfully observed. The sacred wood from the ark was actually from some railroad tracks in Long Beach, he said. And he has never set foot on Turkey. So all that shit Naphtali was talking was debunked, and she didn't even know it. The wood, look, the wood, they said the wood on Mount Ararat. Let's put a Noah's boat real quick. They supposed to have found this nigga boat on Mount Ararat. This is supposed to be, look at that. This is supposed to be the shit. 3D scan boat-like formation matching biblical description of Noah's Ark, archaeologists say. But what happened? From James' perspective, the deception was plainly observed that the sacred wood from the ark was actually from some railroad tracks in Long Beach, he said. That was a dagger to her old performance. So now we debunked your Noah's Ark. They lied about it. It was a hoax, as stated up here. Admitting Noah's Ark's hoax television, a man who claimed on CBS Special to have located the ark now says it was a setup. So you got duppied, you got bamboozled by this. Then you got G-checked by the timeline, because this is the flood of Noah. You got G-checked with that. And then you got G-checked because we talking about a time period of 12,000 BC. Let me go up. Let me go back to Let me go to this picture right here. Look, this is Becky Tepe. This is what they place it. 12,900 BC. You right here, though. You right. Your time period of Becky Tepe would have been right here. The time of the Ark of Noah would have been 2100 BC. right here. But we talking about what? What we talking about? What we talking about? Look at the BC, 10,000 BC, which is 12,000 years ago. See that? See that? So even if it was 8,000 years, like she was saying, even if it was 8,000 years, you still fall short. You still fall way short. You like 2,000 years still short because you in 2106 BC. So the flood of Noah would have had to have been 210600 BC that same year, because the flood of Noah lasted within a year. So 2106 BC would have been the year of the flood. And what do we have? What do we have during 2106 BC? The goddamn beginning of what? The Middle Kingdom of Egypt. These niggas ain't talking about no flood during the Middle Kingdom of Egypt. So yeah, man, that's why I'm not wasting time debating these clowns, yo. These clowns. It'll just be an embarrassment. If they can't handle Mally dealing with the Oahspe, ain't no way in fuck they're gonna see me. That's just respectfully speaking, yo. It'll be a waste of my time. That's right. Let me drop the link, Mally. If you want to come in and speak on it, let me drop the link. You know what I mean? I'm gonna drop the link. The guy want to come in on touch. They go the link, fool, want to hop on. You know what I mean? We vibing out. You know how we do. Enjoying this afternoon. It's the black vibes. A big step. What put the icing on the cake for it to me is when she brought up that book, The Biblical Timelines in History. Let me see if I can pull that book up. And that's crazy. That book is elementary. That's an elementary book. Now look, this is the biblical timeline. This is what she pulled up. This is what she pulled up. This is the book right here. Biblical Bible Timeline. The Bible provides a reliable history. Reliable. He said this shit is reliable. A reliable history of the universe and the events described in the Bible, particularly in the early chapters of Genesis, providing a framework through which we can interpret science and history. Now look at the dates. Look at the events. What that say? Creation. What that say? 4004 BC. Look at this. 4004 BC. Look at this. 4004 BC. Matter of fact, let me come back here. Watch this. Look where they at with it. Let me come back to a saw. What that say? 4004 BC is the time period of their creation. 4004 BC, that would have been this time period right here between 7,553 BC to 3953 BC. So their creation story would have been within this time period. Within this time period right here, which is the 21st and the 22nd arc cycle. The 22nd, and the 23rd arc cycle. Between the 22nd and the 23rd arc cycle is when their creation story began. 4000 BC. Look at Göbekli Tepe. Look at the ending of the arc cycle of the 21st arc cycle. The ending of the 21st arc cycle is 7,553 BC, still predating their creation story. Look at that. Where that? You bring it up. Boom. Biblical timeline. Look at that. 4004 BC. What the Oahspe got Göbekli Tepe as? 1053 BC to 7,053 BC, predating the biblical creation story. Based, and keep in mind, they said this is what? Reliable. The Bible provides a reliable history. So now, if their creation of heaven and earth, which is in 7 days, started in 4004 BC, which is the beginning of, which between the 23rd and the 24th dark cycle. Look at the time of their flood. They got the time of the flood 2348 BC. Now look, let's go back to the timetables. Let's go back to the timetables. Let's go back. Watch this. Look. When they got the time of the flood, the time of the flood, 2348 BC. Watch this. Look at this illustration. 2843. That would have been this time period right here. The so-called Narmer predates the flood. How can Narmer predate the flood when Narmer is the seed of Ham? And Narmer is placed at 3200 BC, but they placed the flood. They placed the flood at 2348 BC. So that means Narmer would have had to come after. Narmer would have had to come after 2348 BC, while we have Narmer at 3200 BC. 24, that would have been during the time of the Old Kingdom of Egypt. This would have been during this time. The Old Kingdom of Egypt. See that? The Old Kingdom of Egypt right here. See that? So they cut bad, man. That's bad. Peace to the God he done hopped on. Peace to the righteous God.
My brother, peace to the righteous God. Created gang. Hold on, man.
Hey,
I'm feeling this work truck, man. I had to get up and do some work this morning. I just got off.
Oh, blessings. Good.
Turn this thing.
Hey, man, you did your thing last night. You showed
I got this damn Bluetooth.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Get right. We here. But I just want to say, the God Mally showed and prove, as we all seen last night. Created gang is undefeated. You know what I'm saying? The nigga went through FOP, cleared the block. We cleared the block on FOP. We cleared the block on JJ Chandler. We cleared the block on, Naphtali. And the crazy thing is that we ain't even had to do nothing. Me, Cosmo, Cal, and then Mally handled that shit single-handedly by himself. Tore the floor out the frame. Peace to the God.
Man, peace. Hey, abundant blessings, bro. Abundant blessings, man.
We're going to get it right. You know how that goes, technical difficulties, but we're going to get it right. The God is on his way. He just got off work, so you know what I mean?
Now, you gotta get her off these front lines. She was looking bad yesterday. And I told him, I say, bruh, you know good and well that 8,000 years is older than 6,000 years. Don't play with me.
Exactly.
You know good and well if the woman tell you that the flood went down 4,500 years ago, bro, that's 2,500 BC.
Goddamn right.
Like, don't play with me. I can act like she coming with some deep shit, bro. She ain't deep at all. If she don't know that 8,000 is more than 6,000 and more than 4,500, bro, I'm not about to waste my time letting y'all talk at me.
Exactly.
Nigga, like, if we would have kept going, I told Quinav, it would have ended her career if we would have kept going.
Yeah, it would have.
Do you know what we was loaded up with over here? We had every base covered.
Exactly.
Every base was covered. Prophecy, salvation, cosmogony, creation, the God, everything covered. Arc cycles, all of it was covered. If we would if we would have kept going, it would have destroyed everything. She better be happy we got above there at that time. You know what I mean? And it was another brother that got on there later on. And if that brother is listening, let me tell him this. Look, you can't be nice with these niggas. You can't be nice. You trying to be too damn nice with them. And they kept cutting you off. You know what I mean? You got to let these cats know I'm not here to let you. Look, I'm not here for you to teach me. We not Creative Gang is not here to be taught by FOPE or the Lions Den. We the ones here bringing the light. It's not y'all. You know what I mean? So, nah, bro, if the brother is listening, I think the brother's name is Amen or something like that. Hey, bro, we already handled our business. It wasn't no need for you to jump in and none of that. You know what I mean? Answer about this. Now you understand why we got to handle them the way we handle them. You know what I mean? No, they not about to set the narrative. You're not about to shut us up. You're not about to talk over us or talk at us. Ever. You know what I mean?
And Omia, nigga, you from Nigeria, you from Africa. You know what I mean? You got that fierce blood in you. I know you humble, we all humble, but sometimes you gotta let that line out, because the way they was talking to you at towards the end of that debate, especially Quinal, he was shitting on you, talking and Oahspe and talking shit about the Bible, but none of y'all niggas was talking that shit as far as when the information was coming out. Y'all ain't had nothing. All they got is goddamn jokes. putting up pictures of niggas making fun, I'm gonna laugh with you. Because if that's all you got to present, I'm gonna laugh with you because you letting us know that we got the upper hand. Because you got to go play, nigga. We bringing out articles, we bringing out shit that's coming from the book, cross-referencing it with history, cross-referencing it with archaeology, and showing and proving it. The God Mally showed that. There was no need for even me and Cosmon to come on because the nigga had it. He had it under control.
Hey, hey, look, let me let y'all know something. Israel, if y'all listening, if y'all can't handle me, y'all not ready for them brothers, man. They've been doing this way too long. You know what I mean? Way too long. So if y'all can't handle me and dealing any of this, y'all is not ready for a Sela Shalom or a Cosmon Cal or a Durl Cosmon. You're not ready. And if anybody can tell you that, I can tell you. I've been up and down Bible for the past 18 years. Taught it. In the streets, in the trenches. I'm not a spectator. I'm not a Hebrew that just was like, oh, I'm just watching video.
Think you went out, you broke up.
Yeah.
He gonna come back. Cosmo was good. Piece of the
Hebrew before that was a YouTube.
There you go.
You know what I mean? So nah, man.
Yeah.
Hey, look, the truth is the truth. Hey, the light that came out is undeniable. Right?
Nice.
Gobekli Tepe shouldn't even be there, y'all. Nor dated to that time period if archaeology that Oahspe is talking about is not valid. It's beyond valid, man. Like,
hey, Naphtali was gonna cry.
You seen that, right?
Yeah, she was about to cry. That's why she cut her camera off. She got embarrassed so bad.
Yeah,
man,
that was
peace
ugly.
to the righteous God, first of all, man. But that was ugly. She made herself look so stupid when she gave a source. First of all, she didn't give the source. She didn't show it. She just read some shit from it. And so Mally asked her, what do they give for the date of Gobekli Tepe?
Right.
She just said 8,000. Now, when you actually go back and look at the text, right, they give it 12,000. It actually says exactly what Mally showed in the beginning anyway, that it was from roughly 9,500 BC. That's what her source said. She lied and said, it says about 8,000.
Oh, she was lying, Cal? Wow.
Yeah, she was lying.
Wow.
She was lying the whole time. The source agreed with what you brought up.
Wow.
She lied and said that her source, she took 1,000 years off of it, but it still killed her. This is what she get for lying. You know what I mean? And Mally was being nice with her, but I ain't gonna be nice with these people. She was stupid. She's an idiot, and she can't add. You dig what I'm talking about? She don't read well, and she don't comprehend well. You dig what I'm talking about? So when she brought up, Mally told her, you don't have a timeline. She said, oh, I get my timeline from this book. And she whipped out some biblical timeline book, and Mally asked her a simple question. What does your book say is the beginning of the time of Earth? She said 6,000 BC. Right? And then try to clear it up, say, 6 to 12. The book don't say that, and you just adding your own opinion onto that because you know you look stupid. And so she looked worse even lying. So how is Gobekli Tepe even built? Mind you, at 6,000 years ago or 4,000 BC, Gobekli Tepe was already buried.
Facts.
And then mind you,
Facts. Hold up, Cosmo.
Yeah.
You said something important. You said by the time 4004 BC coming around, Tepe was already buried. Nigga, stop playing with me. Backdrop.
Hey, that's heavy code right there.
Right. It was. It's not only is it already buried, but at 4,000 BC, it's 300 years before your Earth, by the Hebrew calendar, was even created.
Exactly.
You didn't even have an Earth. You didn't even have an Earth. Tepe already. You dig what I'm talking about? So you know, she made FOPE look stupid, and Quinaf look even stupider, co-signing this shit. That's why his dumb ass wasn't on there till we got off. You dig what I'm talking about? Shout out to the brother Quinaf, yeah, but you co-signing this dumb ass shit. You a dumb ass too then, nigga. You dig what I'm
I
talking
just told Quinaf, Cal.
Neither one of y'all can add.
Hey, Cal, I just told Quinaf, if you don't get that girl the hell off that front line, boy, why in the hell is she on the front line and you, Short Sham, and K Judah over there? Why the fuck is she on the front line?
Exactly.
They hide behind her.
She the goddess. That goddess fell last night, man. She felt bad. Yo, let me tell you something. I felt, you know what? Cause when you cut her with the time, cause nobody was showing their face. She said, now I got to show my face. You said, oh, sauce, I'm going to show you a reference. She put that biblical timeline. She didn't even know what she was holding. When you asked her, what is the date of creation on that biblical timeline? She opened it up, looked, and said, 6,000 years. That nigga Louis, the way Lucy was laughing, yo, that shit had me dying.
Man.
Embarrassed.
Hey, y'all see the way she was looking over her shoulder? Nigga, she lifted that right, boy. She must have been looking at her husband. He probably told her, cut the tape, cut the camera, yank the cord.
No.
Shit is on.
Hey, what happened was her husband caught the headshot because he's the one who got his hand up her ass and makes her talk. If you notice, she always looking to the side because he gives her the cues to speak.
Right.
Right? He gives her the cues to speak. This nigga caught a headshot. He died last night, and that's why her dumb ass looked like she was gonna cry because now she can't think. If the nigga behind her with her hand up her ass, marionetting her motherfucking thoughts and emotions and speech, you know what I mean, like a puppet. You dig what I'm talking about? Catches a headshot. Guess what? Guess what the puppet can't do? The puppet can't talk. You dig what I'm talking about? And yeah, so it was a head. He headshotted her motherfucking dumbass husband, and she caught the body blow. So now that's why she was looking stupid about to cry last night.
Yeah, because she cut herself with her. She cut herself with her own source. She cut herself with her own source. And like Mally said, if it would have stayed on, it would have got uglier because we would have started showing the time period. Because you know, according to the chart. The time period of the flood was goddamn. Matter of fact, let me share my screen. We can talk this shit while the screen up. Shit. Now this is the flood.
Hey,
look at that. Look at the time of the flood. 2348 BC. That means Göbekli Tepe would have had to been after that.
Hey, look, Sheila, 2345 is still Old Kingdom. That's Old Kingdom.
Right there.
Egypt.
Yeah, exactly. That's Old Kingdom. That's this time period right there. That's the 23rd arc cycle. That's this. Look at the time period. Look, that's this. The 23rd arc cycle. That's when her creation story began. That's when all this Noah shit they talk about supposed to begin. And Göbekli Tepe is the 21st, and the flood is the goddamn 17th.
They did the timeline so fucked up.
Hey, man.
Look at the time of the flood from the time of coming down to Göbekli Tepe. You talk about 1, 2, 3, 4,
12,000 years.
12,000 years after the goddamn, before the flood.
After the flood.
After the flood, yeah, correct, yeah. So by the time the earth came to the 21st arc cycle, Osiris came, and she was like, where's your deity? Where's your God? You said, these gods are not worshipped, so you're not going to find images of those deities. But what you will find is the inspiration that they brought. And what was the inspiration? To inspire your man to astronomy and science.
Exactly.
Who was Thor? We don't have no depictions of the Etherian god Thor because they're not worshipped. They don't create images. But what was his inspiration? He created the petroglyphic system for man for writing. And that was the 18th arc cycle after the flood.
Mm-hmm.
Or the 19th, I'm sorry. Man, come on, bro.
Yeah,
easy fucking work, man.
They're not ready, man.
Easy work, bro.
This shit easy. You dig what I'm
Man,
talking
it's
about?
crystal clear information.
And you know, for all my young Hebrew brothers and sisters out there, man, this should be a lesson. We're not telling you to throw your book in the garbage. Oahspe don't claim that. True God say he not here to patch up that old shit. He don't give a damn. You dig what I'm talking about? If you still holding on to that Bible, he's saying He's saying, okay, you done had this forever. Who are willing to complete the laws in it? Because you've been crying for 2,000 years about the Lord's kingdom coming down here on earth. True God here today, true goddess. First of all, it's a female. Let's get that understood. We under a goddess. You wonder why your prayers to God ain't being answered. That's because you ain't praying to the right person. It's not a man. It's not a god. It's a goddess. And shout to say Stevie. You dig what I'm talking about? But if anybody trying to bring any type of smoke this way, you better have your timeline and your archaeological, empirical data, your scientific method, your common sense and your logic on ice before you ever even stepped up to the real pro-righteous teaching.
Can you imagine if that shit would have? Can you imagine if that shit would have been on Sarnetta TV, boy? Can you imagine how Sarnetta would have responded to that embarrassment for her, man? She would have told her, like, yo, Naphtali, you're not even ready for these niggas.
Straight up.
My thing is, how did Naphtali even climb out that body bag that Natasha Da put her in?
Then she only been in the truth for 3
Da
fucking
put
years.
her in a body bag.
Yeah. She definitely not ready for us, man. Natasha Da would have been a better competition
Right,
than that shit.
You should bring your husband next time so we can black his ass. You dig what I'm talking about? So you ain't up there just looking stupid by yourself. Bring your husband with you so we can whoop on him too.
Yo, Prince,
and look, we whooped the
bad man.
We
Yo,
beat the
Prince,
brakes off her God last night.
What's up?
That's what they upset about.
What's your take on it last night, Prince?
Man, it was just a bunch of nonsense. I mean, coming from their side. I mean, Malachi was crisp, clear. He was, he even told her, we're not throwing the Bible out. We still read the Bible, nigga. But so, you know what I'm saying? They try to turn everything and twist everything into a negative attack instead of just trying to get down to the facts and the information. Man, that shit is so fucking annoying, bro. It's hard. It's hard to deal with ignorance like on that level. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. And Malachi, like I said, Malachi came in giving pinpoint answers to the question. Every question he asked, he only asked one question, really. It was just about the archaeology. That's the only question she asked.
And that took 2 hours.
And it took 2 hours to answer. So it's like, what is we doing? Malachi talking about, man, I got kids out here, man. We got stuff to do. I didn't come on here just to go back and forth with you mealy mouth Negroes for hours and hours. Exactly. They was on there 6 hours.
Yeah, after we left.
Exactly.
It was on there 3 hours after
we left. Wait. Why they bring up the album, though? Why they start talking shit about the music?
But that's cool. If that's what they got, I'm going to laugh with them because that showed you that they can't match the information. So they got to resort to creating pictures with niggas' faces. I was laughing with them. I put the laughing emoji. They posted it on there. I'm laughing with you. Because if that's what you got to combat what we got, it proves that you ain't ready. And it proves your Bible is goddamn old news right now, yo.
Man, that whole timeline in the Bible is so far confusing. That timeline is shit, man. So my take on it was just, Malachi did his thug thizzle. He came in there, megaton light bomb and shit. And the information for the people that was listening, we was able to see what Malachi was saying clearly. And then we was also able to see that Naphtali was in deep confusion and emotional turmoil because she couldn't deal with the facts that Mally presented with references, with sources, showing and proving. You know what I'm saying? She ain't did nothing but pull it. I got that same biblical timeline book in my room that she pulled out. You know how many of them shits they make every year? Everybody got that timeline. It all says 6,000 years. It don't say 12,000. Bitch, what you talking? I mean, excuse my language, sorry. But lady, what you talking about?
We turn up over here. You know where that shit go, man. If you want to step out and this is the thing, you want to stick she talking about last before she got off. I really want to see live. I really want to like you ain't gonna get me. You not to debate me. Mally just handed you your ass and he was polite with it. He know you. I don't know you. I don't have no mercy for y'all. So if I get in the ring, it's gonna be an embarrassment.
Right. And they're not trying to really learn. They just want to fuss fight. They used to that Sarnetta, everybody get emotional and fuss and fight and yell and nobody come to no solid conclusion about nothing. Exactly. And that's not what the Creative Gang is about. We're trying to learn. We're trying to elevate. We're trying to excel. You feel what I'm saying?
Let me tell you something. Them niggas was tight when Omiya was on there and he told them niggas that he was from Africa, Nigeria. They was pissed because they're like, oh, how did you let the Oahspe, this white man get in your head and you from Africa? Them niggas was tight because they mad that the Oahspe spreading and it's beating up their fucking book. And the only thing they got is
They can't stop
you know what they getting? They getting a taste of their own medicine. Because the same way they used to taunt the Christians, because they found out that they was the chosen in the book, and they found out that they had an advantage over Christians over the book, and they used to beat them up, is the same ass whooping they get in return with the Oahspe.
Yeah, man. Karma come back around. You got to be humble in this thing, man. Creator is everywhere present, and he's raising everybody up, you know what I mean, in their own way. So you can't just be bashing niggas, you know what I'm saying, unless they just lying. Like they came out just bashing niggas, and we ain't even coming at you crazy. You know, you just mad at the information because you have nothing to counter it that actually has substance. And that shit, man, I'm telling you, we can't keep, I don't feel like I said, like Mally said, y'all, the four horsemen already then bombed every platform. You know what I'm saying? So I don't feel like niggas need to keep running back to these low level vibration, this low hanging fruit to fuss and fight.
What we're going to do is we're going to reverse the playing field now, because we done been in the hot seat on all these channels. I came on FOP first. Mm-hmm. I did the presentation. They had an opportunity to put me on the hot seat right after the presentation. Niggas wasn't calling in. Went back, did it on Sinetta, same presentation. Went on Sinetta. Niggas tried to put us in the hot seat. They got that work. Then we went back on Sinetta. I did the presentation. God and the Satan, one and the same. Gave them that work. Then Mally cleared the block. We had the debates. Now it's time to put them niggas in the hot seat with their Bible.
Straight up. Now, I agree, man.
Yeah, because it's like, if you're trying to say, look what the sister Jamia asked on the screen. She said, are the animals from the Noah's Ark carved on the stone still in Turkey? Now that we know that the time period is off, those pictures on Göbekli Tepe cannot refer to Noah's Ark because it predates Noah's Ark. And when Mally read the zodiac in the Oahspe, showing the animals representing certain star clusters of the zodiac, those animals represented. Because those animals was on stilts. Matter of fact, let me pull up the picture.
That's a body blow, man. That was a body blow. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Answered every question.
So look, you know they got the animals on these pictures. This is an observatory.
Word.
Let me go to the cycle of Osiris real quick. Hold up. That is it right there. Let me throw you some of these pictures.
Boy, that boy got heat over it, man. I'm telling you, they're not ready, man. They really not. They need to just fall back and sit down and learn, just read, study, and be humble.
Insults.
That's it.
They got insults. That's what they got.
And they insults ain't even. And look, man, we used to go back and forth gassing each other. They insults is trash.
Yeah,
ain't nobody laughing at that.
Now, the animals that they find in Göbekli Tepe coincide with this right here. They got to do with the zodiac. Now look, but this is what Mally read yesterday. Book of Osiris, Son of Jehovah, chapter 12, verse 1 and 3. Osiris, through his mathematicians, now furnished the lords with maps of corporeal stars, and with the sun belt, what it say in parentheses, zodiac, and bestowed names of animals upon them. That's the catcher right there. Bestowed names of animals upon them. So those what those animals represent. Showed the position of the moon, sun, and the earth in it. Showed where the regions of cows. These are cosmological clusters.
Talking about Taurus.
Right. The places of bulls. The places of bears. Horses. Fishes. Fishes is Pisces.
Easy
Scorpion.
work.
Sheep.
Scorpion.
Lion, which is Leo.
Right.
You got crab, Sagittarius, death, and the place of life, Gemini. And
straight out to the Gemini gang. You feel me?
Right. Mark the seasons, made 12 sections to the year, which was the width of the sun belt. So these animals in Göbekli Tepe represented constellations. And when we scroll down, and this is found all over the world, it's in other parts.
Hey, what chapter in the book of Osiris is that in?
This is in the chapter 12, verse 1 and 3. Chapter 12, verse 1 and 3, right here. Right there. 12, 1 and 3. They're going to give you the zodiac during this time period. But then, look, this is Ratan Jagira in petroglyph. This is in India. This is 12,000 years ago, and look what it says. Petroglyph depicting Pisces constellation.
Bag drop.
12,000 years ago, which is the very time period of Osiris. And they're going to archaeological evidence, and this is coming out of India. And here we have another one coming out of India. And this is Aquarius. The Aquarius constellation. You see the fish?
Yep.
You see the fish? Huh?
Mm.
He's pouring out and see the fish.
He's pouring out. Yeah, I see the man pouring out. Yeah.
Exactly. So and look at the time period.
12,000
years in India. So we got India and we got Turkey showing evidence of these things. Let me bring in some of the brothers. I heard some of the clicking going on. We got Omiya in the building. Peace to the God, Omiya. We got Malaki Maccabee back in the building.
Bless up, bless up.
Omiya, what's good, family?
Yeah, light and peace, everybody.
Peace and light, King.
Salute.
Light and peace, brother. Light and peace.
So, Omiya, did you see the presentation with Malaki?
Yeah, of course, I saw it. I was there yesterday. And
okay, all right. So, what's your take on it?
The brother made the point already. The issue is that she's not willing to accept that this information that was provided by Brother Malaki is the truth. And what the brother was saying is that, look, we have two Osiris. This came at this point. This came at this point. Now let's go to this temple in Turkey. This is the information. They have some type of oratory temple, and it coincides with the 12,000 years that the Oahspe talk about. So simple as ABC. But she just didn't want to listen to that. Simple. And if you're going to bring a point about when Noah came, then your Noah, according to your scripture, should match the text with the number, and it didn't match. So if your Bible is 6,000 years old, then don't go to 12,000 years ago. It's got to be 6,000. But the temple in Turkey is talking about clearly 12,000 years. So, it was just clear, but unfortunately the sister wasn't ready. Her mind was made up already. So,
she wasn't ready. But yeah, they be reaching, man. They reach. I feel like they just be reaching from 6,000 to 12. You reach 12,000. You reach 6,000 more years on your timeline.
Yeah, and then it's like she tried to say that the animals in Göbekli Tepe was a depiction of the animals coming out of Noah's Ark. How can that be if it predates your goddamn creation? If it predates your flood?
The interesting stuff was that
watch this. I'm about to pull up what the fuck was going on in 2340. The time that they said the flood was, I'm gonna see what type of history they got in Turkey at that same time period.
Hey, man, that stuff was crazy dealing with her. So say those animals did represent. So she would be saying that Noah, Ham, Shem, and Japheth, they all carved pictures of animals on Göbekli Tepe after they got off the damn boat. Stop that shit, man.
Wait, and wouldn't they have to draw every single animal? Because what Noah said to take every animal on the boat?
Yeah, so it's like, no, woman, the animals, I read it in the book of Osiris. The animals represent the constellations.
Right. It's
Osiris
only 12.
He provided star maps, inspired astrology, temples of observatory, temples of observation, and all that, so we can study stars and learn how to avert famine. Learn how to avert famine.
All praise.
Learn to prophesy. You know what I mean? So, bro, that's for real. That's why I just told Quinaf, man, if you don't get that girl off that front line, bro, no man.
Stop hiding behind a woman. Who do that? What grown man hide behind a woman?
Yeah, he's slow. She's slow gas. She cut herself, bro, but that's because they wasn't sincere and really wanting to learn. Y'all been huddling up thinking y'all gonna trip us up. You know what I mean? And the thing about it is we know Bible backwards and forwards. So it ain't like you're gonna be able to trip us up. We can always level the playing field, can't we? We can always be like, oh, y'all got a problem with automatic writing. Boy, Ezra was automatically mouth mumbling off that Molly water. Now what? That's how you got your Torah.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? You could talk about ions being white. We can go right to Enoch. It said Enoch had skin white as snow. And he looked like the angels of heaven.
Hey, Sheila. Yo, Sheila.
What up, King?
Do me this favor real quick, right? While you talking, I want you to hold on. I'm gonna just put it. Go ahead, Mal. I'm gonna just put it in the back chat, and I want you to pull this up for me real quick, right? And we gonna talk about this. Hold on. Go ahead, Mal.
See, y'all done pissed Cal P off. Now he finna go ahead
Yep.
and pull some crazy ass shit up that
Yup.
ain't nobody ever heard of.
Hey, yo,
You know
while
what I
you doing
mean?
that, let me read this real quick. While you doing that, check this out, because I was doing some research. Because you remember we were talking about the second hill. Gobekli was associated with the second hill of Osiris. So I was doing some research on that joint, and you know, Mally pulled this up yesterday right here when he showed this. You know what I mean? Gobekli, the second hill of Osiris. But then what I realized is that the hill of Osiris is rooted in this right here. It's called the mystery of Port Asar.
Oh wait.
Port Asar. Now listen to this.
Mm.
Listen to this real quick. Turkey continues to distort history, and apparently the Armenians' historical and cultural heritage, as the chief scientist advised of the expedition of the Oxford University program, Stone and Stars, and candidates of biological science, Vagon stated a press conference in Yerevan, Turkey, presents the temple complex Port Asar, located in western Armenia, as the Turkey's Stonehenge. Now, this is Port Asar, some of the depictions, but notice that it says it got Asar attached to it.
Right.
But let's look at this time period real quick. Let's look right here real quick. According to the studies, the Port Asar temple complex is more than 18,000 years old. It is one of the largest and oldest ritual religious complex in the world. Its construct testifies to the highest level of development of Armenian people and their ancestry, Vaughn said. And then it says the temple complex of Port Asar, Turkish Gobekli Top, is located on the highest point of the mountain ridge to the northeast of the ancient city of Edessa in the province of Şanlıurfa. Now, right here, let me scoot down right here. Let me read this too right here. Let me read this right here that I'm gonna let it go. It's one of the oldest and largest megalith structures in the world. What? That's saying it's predating Egypt. The fact that the hill was man-made was known to archaeologists in the last century in the 60s. And from the mid-90s, the Istanbul branch of the German Archaeological Institution began excavating here, and they very first stones showed that they were from the Stone Age. It is not only the oldest religious, but the largest known megalith structure as well. It has already been Christianized as the Turkish Stonehenge, although since its age is more than 12,000 years. The monument is 7,000 years older than the famous Stonehenge located in England. Besides, it was built 5,500 years earlier than the first cities of Mesopotamia known to us from the history textbooks. These niggas is confessing that this shit predates Egypt, it predates Mesopotamia and all that. There are also images of creatures similar in appearance to humans, but they are all depicted without eyes, noses, and mouths. Most of the images are cut out in forms of reliefs on the surface of pillars, but they are also amazing three-dimensional sculptures. Now, keep in mind, look what it states here. It says these images of creatures similar in appearance to humans. They zoomorphized in creatures pre-Egypt. Because when you look at Egypt, this is where that's the earliest depictions that you see of animal mixed with humans, but they're telling you that this is going on back then, over 12,000 years ago. All right. Let me see. Let me read some more. Let me read a little bit. Where we at? The stone was dug out by a shepherd in 1994. The following year, a German archaeologist arrived at Port Asar with a group of archaeologists. He is still leading the works. As Skimmett said, when I first saw this place, I realized that I have two options. I had to either leave and keep my mouth shut or explore this structure for the rest of my life. Riddles of Port Asar are no less surprising than the secret of the pyramids, and they are much more ancient. See that? Scientists can only assume that this was a ritual construction, but it is not known for certain. It's not known for certain what caused the ancient people to come together and erect such a truly colossal structure. Now, look, they don't even know what the fucking shit. They just assuming that it was a ritual construct. We over here saying, nah, nigga, this is an observatory.
Right.
We we getting the truth from the Oahspe, a damn book, and they out there in the field and don't know what the shit is. But I just wanted to share that with that how this so-called Port Asar goes back to this time period.
And it's funny. It's funny too. It's funny too, Selah, how they always want to talk about John Newbro, but this Negro was inspired to write this in 1891, and they still don't know what it is to this day. You know, so how?
Hey, don't that look like a crab right there? Don't that look like a crab right there? Now watch this.
Yep.
Watch this.
Or a scorpion.
Let's go back. Let's go back. Oh, a scorpion. Watch this. Watch this. Watch this. I'm surgical with this bitch, Jake. Look at that. When we go back to Osiris chapter 12, verse 1 and 3, what it say? You said a scorpion, right? Or a crab.
Yeah.
I said a crab. You said a scorpion, right? What this shit look like? Where we at? What this shit look like? Huh?
Yeah, that's scorpion. Straight up.
Like?
Yeah, that's what they was. Man, come on, man. They was inspired by Osiris to put that on there.
Tell him again, King.
They was inspired by Osir. Was he a Nirvanian god, or what level of heaven was he from anyway?
He was an Etherian god from Lotson.
Okay, yeah, from Lotson. Right up. That's the man that inspired the mortals to take their chisels and their hammers and dig into the rock, them images to show the star constellations. That's what it is. They don't have every single animal that was on the Noah's Ark depicted on them stone carvings.
And look at this, dude. What does this look like? Let's say this is like a cow.
Mm-hmm.
We can go that for a cow.
Yep.
What does it say up here? Cows
and bulls,
horses or bulls. Each one of those could fit for that. Could fit for this right here.
Exactly.
That could be a bull. That could be a cow. Come on, yo. We showing evidence from the book. Oh, look at this. Now that's definitely a bull right there.
Straight up with the horn.
Definitely a bull. What this say? The places of bulls.
Too easy, man. If you can't make 1 + 1 = 2, that means you are remedial. You know what I mean? These people are slow smoking, man. I don't know what's going on with it, but it's clearly understood.
And what this look like? Some old crocodile shit or something.
Mm-hmm.
Like some crocodile or some shit. Well, we showing the proof. We just showed at least 4 of the zodiacs, at least 4 or 5 of the zodiacs right here.
That might be a lion too. That could be a lion.
Yeah, you're right. That could be a lion. And goddamn it, let's say it is a lion. If it's a lion, goddamn it, we right here in the place of lions, right here. So we done got lions, we done got crabs, scorpions, we done got bulls, cows, sheeps, all in association with Gobekli Tepe 12,000 years ago. Stop playing with us, man.
Which was inspired by Osir. That was that knowledge was given to John Newbro, man, in 1891. How he figured that out?
She want to say show a depiction of Osir. No, we showing the inspiration of Osir. That's what we showing.
Man. Jamia put in the chat when she said that he's an angel. You can't. How you gonna take a picture of an angel?
Right. We taking a picture of his inspiration of what he inspired mortals to do. That's what we showing.
Straight up. Easy work, man. I don't see the confusion. I don't know what people scratching their head about.
Easy work.
They just mad. They in denial, but they gonna get it together, man. They gonna get it eventually.
You know, man. Oh, I got some people in the back chat. Who that? Damn, niggas.
But the thing we need to understand is that if they're under inspiration of certain angel or spirit, there's nothing you could tell them. So,
straight up.
Hey, I wanted to, before Selah got up off of there, every animal.
I can show you. If you need me to show anything, just let me know, Cosmo.
Yeah, you can go, if just to add back, go back to the pictures of Gobekli Tepe you was just showing.
Right.
You know what I mean? First of all, I want y'all to understand that this place is called the Port Asar. Port. Hold on. The word port and the word tepe are the same word. They mean hill, like a great hill. So when you're saying, and this is why in the text it says that Port Asar, aka Gobekli Tepe, is the port or hill of Osar.
Look, here go the name. Look, this is the meaning of it.
Ooh-wee.
Look, and look at this. I'm gonna read this paragraph, and I'm gonna give you the alley hoop. Armenia is one of the oldest languages of the region of Armenian highlands and surrounding area. Small Asia, which, according to the recent studies, was a spoken language 8 to 9,000 years ago. The name Port Asar, given to the monument, means the center of the earth and life, navel, mountain. By the way, Port Asar was named by the people who knew it was a religious ritual monument. They knew that life existed not only on the earth, but also in heaven. They worshipped Enga, angel, as the god who connected these two worlds. And stone pillars, cross statues, stone obelisks, stone icons, and later also, whatever that say, exist in Armenia. All these times. This about 12,000 years ago, 12,000-year-old monuments discovered in Armenian Mesopotamia, in the archaeological proof, which, along with comparative linguistics, allows to say that Armenia is the cradle of modern civilization.
Well,
that this area of Osiris, Göbekli Tepe, is the cradle of modern civilization. They saying that this shit predate Egypt and Mesopotamia
and everything else. You dig what I'm talking about? And then, mind you, people think this like one little itty bitty little building.
Right.
This thing is spread out over 22 acres.
Right.
It's the most massive Neolithic construction in the world, and they still they only dug out 5% of Göbekli Tepe.
Oh my God!
Right, exactly. That's it.
This is only what we're seeing. What we're seeing, all this stuff that we're seeing, is only 5%. And now, mind you, the word, first of all, the word Göbekli means pot belly. So Göbekli Tepe means the pot belly hill, right? The Port Asar, right, is the heel of Asar. The brother pulled up the text last night to show that. Yeah, he pulled up the text last night to show that Göbekli Tepe is called the heel of Osiris. How?
Look what it say. I'm gonna read it right here. Watch this. Look what it say right here. Right here. I'm gonna read this real quick. Its ancient Armenian and probably oldest name is Port Asar, and it breaks down into syllables. Port, navel, or umbilical cord, identifies the site as a navel of the earth, a seating place where the knowledge of the gods were first deposited. Who God I wonder that is? Which were the epicenter existed throughout the world. Wisdom spread across the land like ripple, touching the uncivilized and the brute and elevating the potential of humankind. The second syllable, Asar, is revelatory.
Blow it up, bro. I can't see that.
Right here. The second syllable, Asar, is revelatory for it is none other than the original name of Osiris.
Cyrus.
Primary Egyptian deity and lord of the underworld. It can be said then that this hill is the umbilical cord of Osiris.
And when a woman is laying on her stomach and she's pregnant, her belly look like a heel. This is why they call it the navel.
But why would they associate Asar 12,000 years when Egypt is way after that?
Right.
You can't associate that. This is what they just did with some goddamn Naphtali
sorcery. No, hey, look, they be blaming us from it, but you did some mental sorcery. That's what you did. You didn't mentally masturbated yourself. You dig what I'm talking about? And came with your own conclusion. Because there is no way a building 7,000 years older than Egypt itself.
Right. So
Right.
how can
We
you
talk.
reference a
Hold on.
SAR? Oh, shoot. Go ahead. Hold on for
Even
me.
if
Y'all go ahead for
we
me.
know.
Hold it down for me, Cosmo. Go ahead.
All right. Even if we know, we first of all, we do know that Egypt was founded about 3100 BC with Narmer. We know that. But let's give them 4,000 years. We can encompass the whole Nakata period, 1, 2, and 3, and start at 4,000, right? We still talking about a time 6,500 years prior to anything in the world known as Egypt existed. So anytime we say Asar or Osiris, right? Just understand that we're not talking about the guy in Egypt. So stop tying this to Egypt. This is pre-Egypt, 6,000 plus years. So there is no way possible that this hill could be called or tied, have any ties to a being or anything called Osiris, when the foundation of Osiris is Egypt. He was birthed in Egypt. His whole ideal come out of Egypt. What we're finding is that there is an older Osiris who tied himself in the knowledge, or the knowledge of the people tied him to Göbekli Tepe 10,000 BC. You dig what I'm talking about? And then we keep bringing up Göbekli Tepe as if it's the oldest. Mind you, it is called the second hill of Osiris. Right? Where's the first? They found it. Modern science has found it. Right? It's called, I can't get up on the thing real quick, but it's called Karahan Tepe. It's K-A-R-A-H-A-N, and it's 500 years older than Göbekli Tepe, and right in the same area. 500 years older. So they going crazy about Göbekli Tepe. Oh yeah, it's great. Yeah, it's great. But she got a big sister that they then forgot about, named Karahan. Oh yeah. Wait till C-Lock get back up here, man. And to get back to the debate last night, man, did y'all notice? She kept trying to bring up the flood and the boat and Turkey and Mount Ararat. Did y'all peep that?
Yeah, I seen that.
Yeah, she kept trying to tie that narrative in there, and I was chomping at the bit because they wouldn't let me on. Because the thing is, if your whole narrative can be questioned, then we got to step back from it. You dig what I'm talking about? As being absolute truth. You know, right. You must know a thing. You can't believe it's true. You must be able to prove objectively that a thing is true before you accept it.
Straight
That's
up.
what you should do. That's what everyone should do. You dig what I'm talking about? I could take whatever anybody else or any scientist says with a grain of salt. You know what I mean? But until you have that experience for yourself, it is just a subjective belief until you actually know. You know what I mean? So with her trying to tie this so-called, first of all, this so-called Noah's Ark in Ararat in Turkey, right? Oh, wow. But hey, look, Mally brought out that they got the so-called wood.
That man, I fell on the floor when I seen that, man.
Yo, from Long Beach. He was out there tripping with Snoop. You got, so the wood out there talking about coke, man. What up, cuz? Trying to go get these tracks, cuz. Ship these shit over here to Turkey, nigga. We got some dumbass niggas on the line, cuz. Yeah, they gonna buy this wood talking about it's gopher wood, cuz. yeah, we gonna sell it to these hoe ass niggas, man. They some busters. You dig what I'm talking about? Yeah, we got this. We built this up out of Snoop grandma backyard.
Straight up, cuz. Straight up, nigga. That's funny, man.
You trying to tell us?
Dope them niggas.
Y'all trying to tell us that the wood tracks from Long Beach is ancient wood from Noah's Ark if you don't stop smoking that crack.
Then the nigga burnt it and roasted the wood to make it look like it was burnt or some shit.
Yeah. And then sold it to them dumbass niggas.
Wow, man, that's real nigga shit.
Real nigga. I got a fish on the line. You got to get in this pot.
That was a dagger for real when he pulled that out. I said, God, it's over with. That was a megaton light bomb for everybody.
Hey, but hold on, it gets worse. It gets worse. So we done already proved that the boat fuddy-duddy, right?
Word.
What if the whole mountain is fuddy-duddy? What if that's not for real Mount Ararat? What if Christian apologists, what about Christian apologists, cartographers, and those who run the religious mindsets? You dig what I'm talking about? Changing the maps to fit that pseudo-Christian story told within the Bible. Hey, listen, because if I can question where your whole mountain is, watch this. Hey, Shalom.
What up, Ken?
Do your bro a favor real quick, man.
What's up?
Do your bro a favor. We just gonna ask Google a question, right?
All right, what you mean to put up? Pull
up. Ask the question: is there a Mount Ararat in South Africa? This shit. Yeah, listen. If there's a Mount Ararat in South Africa, that brings into question anything that they talking about Turkey. There is no way in the world there should be a mountain named Ararat in South Africa. So is this where the boat landed? Is this where you hide?
Oh, I think we got some issues here. Cosmo may be onto something. What we saying? You can see that, Cosmo?
Yeah, what it say? Hold on. I'm about to fuck you up because look where it's at. Not only is the mountain in South Africa, look where the mountain is sitting. Mount Ararat is a mountain and is located where? Where is the mountain? In
Western
Eden,
South Africa.
Hold on. No, you missing the point. Look where it say it's sitting. Eden.
Bag drop.
Oh wait.
It's in the Eden District Municipality in Western Cape, South Africa. Stop with all that goofy shit. I'm shooting holes in everything. Your whole Noah, any of that shit. Mount Ararat is in South Africa debated.
That's it right there.
And it's in Eden.
That's it right there.
Huh?
And that kind of look how the Turkey version looked, the way they kind of had it looking and shit.
Yeah.
What this shit? Mount Ararat. Hold up. Let me see if I get another one. That's crazy.
Yeah. I'm calling into question everything your God say, man. They lied to us for so many years about everything. So I question everything. And look what I found. It actually looked like it's a look at the mountain.
Right
That's
there.
A great picture.
There you go right there. Look, there go the evidence right there. Caption. Clarence, South Africa. A cow in the field at large Mesa, nicknamed Mount Ararat.
I'm calling him to question everything.
Hold on, let me say it says nickname.
And don't that look like a large structure that got melted? Don't that rock look like how you sit a rock on top of a rock? Don't that look like an old building?
That's Noah's Ark right there. She probably would have had a begging argument saying this shit. At least it's in Africa.
Hey, I'm just saying, what if the shit was petrified? We done been through tons and tons of calamities, and now that we understand what escrow is, and that the stories like that we heard of anciently, like Chicken Little, the sky's falling, that shit is reminiscent of old ancient histories that are true. When have you ever seen the sky fall? But I bet you if our ancestors seen that shit, witnessed it, and lived through it, they would tell stories and all this type of shit about it.
Thanks.
And now we got a whole book explaining what happened. That nebulous material fell up out of the sky over an 1,800-year period. And it's more recent than because it only just stopped in 1448 AD.
Yo, this nigga got that y'all already crazy. This nigga said there's a Mount Ararat, also in Pennsylvania.
Well, dang. Shoot at him. Shoot. Headshot. Shoot at him, boy. What they talk about, Sela Shalom?
They ain't talking about nothing, man, because at the end of the day, they just got baffled with the timeline. That's why we're going to beat them at the timeline every time, because if your story is 23 whatever, that's the old kingdom of Egypt. Like you say, Gobekli was buried that time already. Them glyphs who she was claiming was the glyphs coming out of Noah's Ark was already on there. And when your God said, "Let us make man in the beginning," Gobekli was already buried.
Yeah.
Yo, stop playing with us, man.
Oh, Jesus. Golly, man.
Oh, man. And she wanted to debate. She wanted to debate. Like, come on, man. You wasn't even honest enough when you got cut.
We sent the little we sent Mally through there. They thought Mally was the easy target. No, we sent that boy in there with a megaton bomb on his back.
If they came past Mally, and we're not saying like Mally weak and nothing, we just saying that Mally is the youngest nigga to get the Oahspe in the group. He just got this shit like 2 years ago. And he's already chopping heads. So if you can't handle Mally, there is no possible way you're gonna stand up against us.
No, hell no, ain't no way.
When it comes to this Oahspe knowledge.
No. You dig what I'm talking about? We gonna beat you up, and then you know your boy Cosma, man. I play fair, but I don't play fur. You know what I'm talking about?
If you can't get past me, you can't get past Cosmo.
No, hell no. You dig, and that's not no diss. I'm just saying because Sela out of control with Oahspe. They out of control with it. Listen, you can't deal with us. Period. My bro just went to every single so-called Hebrew Israelite platform that's actually doing something and smoked everybody. He came through like the Terminator. I'll be back. Went to the next show. Went to the Lions Den. I'll be killed them and then took Naphtali head off last night. She was so dizzy. She was so punch drunk. She cut her camera on and then had to cut it off again.
And she got swirled in that vortex, man. She got swirled in that vortex. Her head was spinning too fast, so she had to sit down. That vortex had her head spinning.
Yo, when Mally brought out the shit that the nigga made up the whole Mount Ararat, bro, in the Noah's Ark stuff and all that shit came out of Long Beach, California.
Yo, let me tell you something. Let me tell you
Where
something.
the 20s and the insanes is. Yo, I almost cried, man. I felt bad for Naphtali, man.
Man, you got Cali influence on the Ark of Noah.
Yo. Hey, Noah had some Cali weed on on the boat. Noah had that Cali weed. That's why that shit's so good out there in Cali. Yeah, Noah was growing. That's the garden Noah grew. where he got drunk. He got them wine. Got that wine.
The oldest vineyard is over in Turkey and all this shit. I'm like, yeah, nigga, whatever. Yeah, nigga, whatever, man.
Oh man, it was I felt so bad for her, man.
Yeah, that was a bad look.
Molly, but I didn't feel bad for the simple fact she kept talking, she kept pushing, she kept trying to aggravate, she kept being dumb and ignorant and blind to facts, and she wouldn't keep it real.
That's their strong points, is getting off and well, you didn't let me finish speak. That's when they feel like you know what I mean? That's their strong point. They don't have nothing to bring to the table when it comes to the information. Her information got debunked. Now let me show you how that worked. When she was presenting her Noah claim, I put in Noah debunked, got the article and shot it to Mally, and then he presented it. That's how that came about. Bam, hit her with that. Then I hit him with the Hill of Osiris because you had hit us with that, and I went in the chat, got it, and shot it to him because I don't know if he had it or not. So I said, let me just shoot it real quick. So it was just like, man, it was just blow after blow after blow, man.
Crazy, boy. People don't be understanding when they see that this cross circle in the middle of that thing, what that mean. They don't understand that that's the sign of the creator. Yeah, but it looked like a scope. And anytime any one of us go anywhere doing anything, just understand it's somebody on a grassy knoll somewhere protecting that boy. You dig what I'm talking about? He got shooters at his back at all times. You dig what I'm talking about? We the new horsemen.
Damn right.
Yeah, and we riding to do something good for our people, and this is why y'all can't deal with us. Plus, Oahspe say, shit. Look at the remnant of the Algonquins. Look at the remnant of the Anguis, aka the Negroes of America. Their book today, Oahspe today, 2023, it's a power. Who gonna try to sell them a story of a Jeebus? Huh? You can't give me Muhammad.
Yo, my nigga, we ain't even getting a debate yet. This is just goddamn hot seat shit and these niggas getting cut.
Man, they bet not never bring me to a hot seat. I'ma light the whole house on fire. I'm gonna bring their shit down around their ears.
Yeah, they gonna kick Cosmo. You know Cosmo Cal, Raphael and the Ninja Turtles. He the live wire. That nigga's a nut. They go, hey Cal, you think they get tripping with 2-9, nigga? Kick you, put you in the back check, man. They gonna kick you off the platform. They not gonna let you finish. Yeah, they ain't gonna let you finish, dog. Hey, Cal, you be saying some of the craziest shit sometimes. And I peep what you be doing. You do that to make a motherfucker challenge it and be like, nigga.
Yeah, I'm gonna bring you in this water. I'm a shark.
Yeah.
I'm a shark. I'm gonna tease you up off that land. I'm gonna tease you up off that land. But as soon as your little guppy ass get in this water, you dig what I'm talking about? You're gonna be looking like Naphtali was yesterday. Looking retarded.
The thing is, I just told Quinaf, I was on the phone with him. I just finished talking to him not that long ago. I told him, I'm like, bro, look, hey, look, nobody over there is dealing with us. Like, period. You know what I mean? Like if anybody is qualified to tell you that you ain't ready for nothing over here, you better off just coming on through and sitting down and learning. Right. If anybody is qualified to speak on that, it's me. I know your doctrine. I know it backwards and forwards. I know every doctrine that a nigga speaking. Look, I've been in Israel so long, a nigga can speak a Hebrew doctrine around me, and I know what camp he part of. I know what church he part of or assembly, just by the way he speak.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? So, nigga, I'm telling him, like, look, bro, I done been up and through Bible. You know that? I just told Quinop that, boy, I've been Israelite longer than you. Nigga, you 50 plus. What is you talking about? I've been an Israelite longer than you. I've been teaching longer than you. All that. So let's not play the game. If I'm telling you, like, look, bro, you ain't got nothing over there for what we bringing out. You know what I mean? At least be like, you know what? Let me go check and see what bro talking about. Because you know I always been solid with you, nigga. Don't play me like we just up here, you know, just mysteriously following some guy named John Newbro. Guess what I just told Quinop? Fuck him. Fuck him. Let's get to the information. We only talk about him because you niggas bring him up.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And that's what Omian should have told him last night, nigga. You dig what I'm talking about? When he was questioning him about that, you dig what I'm saying? You listen. Who was you? Who was you? I couldn't have never listen. Quinop, my dude, he good. He all right, man. You know what I mean? I ain't gonna, you know, as a brother, it is what it is. You know, is that he my brother? But you know, with the doctrine, we, you know, it is what it is. We gonna swing sword. You see what I'm saying? But my thing is, I couldn't never let a dense nigga like that ever talk to me or over talk me like that. And since y'all ain't, you brought up the major flaw in FOPE last night, bro. They don't keep it real. They fake. That's fake, man. How you trying to handle this dude, but then trying to talk all this powerful black pride shit. You dig what I'm talking about? But you trying to handle me like you the cracker.
Right.
Like you gonna tell me what I'm gonna be. I'm smarter than you.
You're right, nigga.
I'm smarter than you. You're an idiot. And you're still bound to old doctrines and what men believe. And you still believe in your God. That's a problem. If you gotta believe in your God, or if you can believe in your God, that means you don't know it. Because you can't know and believe in a thing at the same time. It's impossible.
Right. You know your mama, nigga.
Yeah, you don't believe she your mama.
You know your mama. You don't believe it. You know it.
Yeah, you know that.
Excellent point. Shit.
Yeah, you can't believe and know a thing. So if you still need to believe in God and you can't prove God, right? First of all, that proves that your God weak.
The crazy thing, we didn't even get to the God concept yet. She was just stuck on archaeological find.
But that's how the creator boxed their ears in. Mally, every time she went left, she caught the right.
Right.
Every time she went right, she caught the left.
Bah.
And then every time she bent down, it was headshot to her husband. Headshot, nigga, from long range. That was Cosmon back on the roof over there, scoping shit. Sheila throwing bombs and Daryl Cosmon setting traps. We just walk y'all boys into the punches. You couldn't go anywhere else because you couldn't rationalize what the brother had brought forth. The smart man takes what is factual and objective and can just internalize it, right? If she would have just let you say it, what you said about it, instead of trying to come debunk what you saying, she wouldn't have got made a fool of. See, this is what happens when you try to come against truth. Truth will make you look stupid every time.
She got caught with that 6,000 years, man. That shit was, oh, man.
Man.
Matter of fact, hold up, man. I'm about to play a clip of that shit.
Yo, look at her face. Look at her face. Look, first of all, she look over to the right, right? And then she bow her head. And then she looked to the right again, cut the camera off. She's sick. She's sick. Mally just said you got your head cracked. That's what
you got your shit rocked. With the first question, you know, she like, well, what archaeology validates Oahspe? I thought you never asked. She don't know. We got a whole archaeology doc sitting over here.
Bunches
Man,
of them.
that was
Oh
crazy.
man, that was so crazy.
And
She
then
walked right into the punch.
and then for people to believe like she really feeling herself. She put more Ray on her name, meaning teacher. You
Hey,
know
look,
what I mean?
I gotta put this out there too. I gotta put this out here to show you that these people is fake. I gotta prove this. I gotta show you this. They lost so bad, and they was hating on us so bad last night that every single Creator Gang post that came through the chat, everything that from people who wasn't even the Creator Gang, who was saying, dang, she got cut and all that, they removed every single one of them from the chat. That's how you know you lost. That's how you know you a loser. Yeah, what the brothers say, FOPI, for our people's ignorance. That's what y'all niggas involved in over there, some ignorance.
Oh man.
Yeah, we killed your shit. Lit a megaton bomb off in your shit.
Damn right.
Yeah, and see, the thing is, they hate Cosmo. They hate Cosmo. They hate Sela Shalom. They love you, but they love to hate you.
Hey, y'all can hear this. Hold up. If y'all can't hear it, we'll just get the facial expression.
Slow that shit down.
Put it on the slowest speed and shit.
Yeah, with the dumb face.
Y'all can hear that?
No, you gotta share the you gotta go back out and share the audio, yeah.
Yeah, so go to Chrome, hit share screen or present and go to Chrome tab instead of entire screen.
Yep, go out of it.
Hold on.
Stop sharing.
Yeah, stop sharing and then
stop sharing that particular screen.
So yeah, stop sharing the whole thing.
Yeah, now go back, hit present. And then you're gonna go when they say share screen or whatever, you're gonna go to Chrome tab and not entire screen. And it should give you option to click share audio down at the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all see it?
Yeah, we see it.
My man just told you in the article. Like, I don't really understand. Like,
hold on. I heard him saying like.
Y'all hear it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, all
right. Because I was silent. I didn't say anything while he was up there saying all that nonsense. Who cares?
What nonsense though?
I'm getting ready to tell you what it is, and I don't know why you talking. Don't interrupt me.
I don't understand what nonsense you're talking about. Okay. It wasn't the
Hey, let her speak. Let her speak, bro.
One more time you
She's
interrupt.
speaking.
Then be quiet.
No, you be quiet.
With them 3D glasses, be quiet, bro.
All right, thank you. Like I said, I allowed Malaki to speak.
Stop all that, man.
I allowed the man to speak.
It ain't even look. Let my people's back on.
Let your okay.
That's your people's.
Wow.
Look at the chat.
You he's being disrespectful to the platform.
Look at the chat.
Be quiet. I told
see my name right there, Cosmo.
I let you have the show. I didn't interrupt you. I didn't interrupt you, did he?
See on that video. Now go back and watch.
Be disrespectful.
Yeah, now go back and watch the live from last night.
Now just be quiet.
Go back and watch it again.
Where did I get my time frame from? I get it right here in Bible charts, maps, and timelines. That's where I got it from. Here's my source document. It's a very good book. It has a map in it. Let me show you the actual.
How old? When was the Earth created? Or when was
Why are you talking again? Why are you talking?
You the one that said you got the timelines. When was the Earth created according to that?
See that right there? You saw that?
Earth was created.
Hold up. Y'all seen that? Y'all see how she was looking back at the peoples?
Here it is. He was up there saying all that nonsense. Who cares?
What nonsense though?
I'm getting ready to tell you what it is, and I don't know why you talking. Don't interrupt me.
I don't understand what nonsense you're talking about. It wasn't the.
Hey, let her speak. Let her speak, bro.
One more time you
She's
interrupt.
speaking.
Then be quiet.
No, you be quiet.
With them 3D glasses, be quiet, bro.
All right, thank you. Like I said, I allowed Malaki to speak.
Stop all that, man.
I allowed the man to speak.
It ain't even look. Let my people's back on.
Let your okay.
That's your people's.
Wow.
Yeah, to my people.
He's being disrespectful to the platform. I told him to be quiet. I told him 3 times. I let you have the show. I didn't interrupt you. Yava didn't interrupt you, did he? No, he did not. So don't do that. Don't be disrespectful. Now just be quiet. Like I said, he asked me where did I get my time frame from? I get it right here in Bible charts, maps, and timelines. That's where I got it from. Here's my source document. It's a very good book. It has a map in it. Let me show you the actual.
How old? When was the Earth created?
Why are you talking again? Why are you talking?
You the one that said you got the timelines. When was the Earth created?
Yeah, right there. You see it? Right there.
Yeah, that's the map.
Who's she looking at right there? She's looking for an escape route right now. She's like, you know you done fucked up, right? You know you done fucked up, right? That's that. You know you done fucked up look.
Yeah.
All right, let's keep going.
The Earth was created 6,000 years. Here it is.
Wow. So that article I just pulled is true then.
6 to 12,000 years. Here it is. You probably can't see it, but it's
so not 12,000 like you said earlier.
No, it is 6 to 12,000.
It just said your source.
There you go, right there. Looking again.
Yeah.
What you looking over there for? Looking for that escape route.
That's that quick jab. Pow! She didn't knock her head to the fan.
Hey, the jab got her looking at the referee. He's gonna throw the towel.
Hey, she over there keeping the timekeeper, boy.
Hey, run it back just a little bit, C-Lock. Hey, cause look, Louis started laughing.
Yeah, that was the funny part. When Louis started laughing, that's when that shit had me dying. The way that nigga laughed. Hold up.
I have real documents. I don't just pull stuff out of my head. I don't just make anything up. So don't do that. Don't disrespect me like that. Now I sit here. Yeah, he just sat up there and disrespected me like I don't have, like I just came out of the blue.
That's projection.
Do you have a book like this? Go ahead and pull your book up, Malachi, right now. I'll give you some time. Where's your scientific books at? Where are they? Go ahead and pull it up. I'll wait while you over there doing your thing. Shoot.
My man just told you an article. Like, I don't really understand. Like,
hold on. I heard him say a lot, and I don't need you to talk because I was silent. I didn't say anything while he was up there saying all that nonsense. Who cares?
What nonsense, though?
I'm getting ready to tell you what it is, and I don't know why you talking. Don't interrupt me.
I don't understand what nonsense you're talking about. Okay. It wasn't.
Hey, let her speak. Let her speak, bro.
One more time you
She's speaking.
Then be quiet.
No, you be quiet.
With them 3D glasses, be quiet, bro.
All right, thank you. Like I said, I allowed Malachi to speak.
Stop all that, man.
I allowed the man to speak.
It ain't even look. Let my people's back on.
That's
your people's.
Wow.
Yeah, to my people.
He's being disrespectful to the platform. I told him to be quiet. I told him 3 times. I let you have the show. I didn't interrupt you. Yava didn't interrupt you, did he? No, he did not. So don't do that. Don't be disrespectful.
I hate that pity role that they try to play.
Just be quiet.
Right.
Like I said, he asked me where did I get my time frame from? I get it right here in Bible
Watch
charts,
this.
maps, and timelines. That's where I got it from. Here's my source document. Very good book. It has a map in it. Let me show you the actual.
How old? When was the Earth created? Or when was
Why are you talking again? Why are you talking?
You the one that said you got the timelines. When was the Earth created according to?
Bam. That's that first jab to the right. Bam. Body shot. Face shot.
Pop. Here come the body blow.
Earth was created 6,000 years. Here it is.
Hey, Louis laugh, yo.
6 to 12,000 years. Here it is. You probably can't see it, but it's
so not 12,000 like you said earlier.
No, it is 6 to 12,000.
It just said your source said 6.
Man, that was that body
6,000 years. And look, it ain't done.
No, I did not say my source. I said it's between 6 to 12,000 again.
Come on.
Look.
Oh, you seen that?
She
looked again.
Yeah, you got hit again.
She about to cry.
Come on, Malachi.
She hurt.
Yeah.
She hurt.
Bro.
She hurting right now.
Come on.
Body blow.
Oh, body blow.
Liver shot.
Body blow.
Liver shot about a folder.
Come on now.
She about to throw up.
Out of here for the count. Get her out of here, man.
Get her out of here. Damn.
That was crazy. That nigga Malaki.
That's nuts.
Glasses, be quiet, bro.
All right, thank you. 10 years. Here it is. You probably can't see it, but it's
So
right
not
here.
12,000 like you said earlier.
No, it is 6 to 12,000.
Hey, double tap the screen to the left. It'll go back 10 seconds.
No, I did not say my source.
I'm about
I
to
said
put
it's
this shit on
between
slow
6
motion
to
real quick.
12,000 again.
Come on, can y'all let us speak? Come on, Malaki, come on, bro.
Come on, sis.
Watch this.
Come on now.
You said touch. But nah, man, that's enough of that, man. God damn.
Yeah, man, that was
God
bloody.
damn. That was ugly, yo.
Bloody. Oh, man. Killed herself with it. Hey, shout out to Unc, man, because he do say one thing that I agree with. Pseudos die by their own sources. She fell on her own sword.
Yeah, that was bad, man. That was bad. Man. That was bad, Joe. I'm like, God damn. It can happen to the best of us, but God damn.
Yeah.
That shit was something else. Like, shit.
And then Quinal tried to come on the channel afterwards talking. Boy, you wouldn't have. Wait.
Yeah, man. She
Going, it would have got ugly, yo.
How you gonna let your champ nigga die by suicide? You know what I mean? Like that. Then you gonna get on there. You gonna get on there after we off and talk heavy. But nigga, when I talk to you, you be all cool. Peace, brother. Shalom, and all this goofy shit. Nigga, you ain't even about all that shit you was talking. You was talking heavy last night.
Yeah.
You was talking heavy like your Oahspe and all that, nigga.
Yeah,
if I play these voice messages that you sent me earlier this morning, nigga, you ain't popping. You ain't even built like that.
Nope.
Don't be popping off like you all of a sudden you debate and you run around and people scared of you and all that and you so deep, bro. Stop that. You a cool bruh, you cordial and all that, but you portray a different way. I noticed that about you. You portray it a total different way when you get on camera. You know what I mean? You ain't solid all the time, Jack, and you know that. And I know you watching this video because I tagged you in it. I tagged you and Naphtali in it, so I know y'all listening. But now you don't even come off like that. You was talking heavy to old boy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You was talking heavy like, oh, I was pissing and what that do with our people and all this extra goofy shit, nigga. But you don't keep that energy with us. You see what I'm saying? Like niggas know who to holler at. That's all I'm saying. Not saying nothing against brother Amen. I'm saying I know these cats. And you can't play with them. You can't play with Israel. Israel don't hear wakey, wakey, eggs and bakey. Wakey, wakey, eggs and bakey. Nigga, you ain't gonna wake nobody. Get your ass up and come on. That's how you gotta deal with Israel, man. You can't play with them. They are stiff-necked people.
Exactly.
They're rebellious. You gotta hit them niggas right in their mouth with this shit, man.
Yep.
And make them go lick their wounds. Make them go lick their wounds and realize I just got my ass whooped. Damn. You feel me?
Damn, did my guy just get punched in his ass?
Built like that, bro, to be talking heavy and all that, man. You know, when we be on the phone, when you be on the phone with any of these brothers, Sela or Cal, you cordial. You ain't huffing and puffing and your chest all out. The way you was acting last night was like, bro, you know that you had to get on there because your girl, your champ, committed suicide last night by her own source. You had to get on there because you've been running around talking about something. The champ is her. The champ is her. Yeah, you like she from my streets, nigga. She a little girl. You ask this little girl up like she died so quick and fast last night. It was pathetic. So, brother, keep it solid. That's all I'm saying. The only way that you can defeat anything that come against you, you got to be real first, no matter what you involved in. Be solid, man. Be solid. And what we revealed last night, FOPE ain't solid.
Yeah.
Y'all ain't keeping it real.
Y'all ain't keeping it real. And see, that's the whole point of being a faithist. A faithist is a realist.
Hey, what that say on the screen?
Noah was white as snow.
But they want to talk about the iron. They want to talk about John Newbro. They want to be stuck on a skin complexion shit. When Noah is described as being white as snow. Where that shit at? In the Enoch, where that? Right here. What is the description of Noah? Book of Enoch 106, fragment of the book of Noah. And after some days, my son Methuselah took a wife for his son Lamech, and she became pregnant by him and bore him a son. And his body was white as snow, and red as a rose, and the hair of his head was white as wool. What are we talking about here? What are we talking about here? Like Mally said.
Hey, bro.
Precept.
Sheila.
Go ahead, Ken.
If you read all of that chapter 106 of that first book of Enoch, bruh, it gives his description. It gives Noah's description 3 times. You dig? But it also, what don't nobody trip off of, the whole time Noah's father is telling his father and his grandfather that the son he just had looked like he descends from the sons of heaven. Exactly. He looked like the sons of one of them angels. He looked just like the angels.
And we about to get that too. Facts.
So that means that the angels, angels have white skin. Yeah.
Exactly. I got that shit right in this precept. The first precept with the Oahspe book of Enoch is that Enoch is white as snow and his hair is white as wool. And then in the first precept, the first book of the first Lords 2:4, the irons were white and yellow. Well, there you have a white and yellow nigga standing right before you. And then, like you were saying, God, verse 4, and his father Lamech was afraid of him and fled and went to Methuselah his father, verse 5. And he said to him, I have begotten a strange son. He is not like an ordinary human being, but he looks like the children of the angels of heaven. To me, his form is different. And he said, and he is not like us. His eyes are like rays of sun, and his face glorious. Now look at the precept I put to this. First book of the first Lords, chapter 1, verse 2 and 3. So it came to pass, a new race was born on the earth, and these were called Ions, because they were begotten both of heaven and earth. What did Lamech say up here? What did Lamech say? I have begotten a strange son. He looks not like any ordinary man, but he looks like the children of the angels of heaven. He looks like what? He looks like the children of the angels of heaven. What is the precept? What do your Oahspe say? Because they were begotten both of heaven and earth. Consequently, it became a saying, the earth conceived of the Lord. Verse 6. And it does not seem to me that he is of me, but of the angels. And I fear that a wondrous phenomenon may take place upon the earth in his day. Oahspe precept, Book of Jehovah, chapter 6, 18 and 19. There alighting upon the new earth millions of angels from heaven. And they dwelt with the Asuans and were tempted and partook of the fruit of the tree of life. And lo and behold, they saw their own nakedness. And there were born the first race, Asu, a new race called man. Enoch. So I am beseech you now, begging in your order that you may go to his grandfather Enoch, our father, and learn from him the truth. From his dwelling place is among the angels. And now, my father, hear me, unto Lamech my son, there hath been born a son, the like of whom there is none. And his nature is not like man's nature. And the color of his body is whiter than snow, and redder than the bloom of rose. And the hair of his head is whiter than white wool. Again, they go an example. His eyes are like rays of sun, and he opened his eyes, and thereupon lightened up the whole house. And he arose in the hands of the midwife, and opened his mouth in blessings to the Lord. Now, Oahspe, Lamech, verse 12. And his father Lamech became afraid and fled to me, and he did not believe that he was sprung from him. Like, this ain't my seed, and that he was in the likeness of the angels. And behold, I have come that thou mayest make known to me the truth. And I, Enoch, answered him and said unto him, the Lord will do a new thing on earth, and this I have already seen in a vision, and make known to thee that in the generations of my father Jared, some of the angels of heavens transgressed the word of the Lord. Precept, Oahspe, but Book of Jehovah 6:18-19. But those who had never learned corporeal things, referring to the angels, being imperfected in wisdom, did not understand Jehovah's work, and they dwelt with the Asuans and were tempted and partook of the fruit of the tree of life. And lo, behold, they saw their own nakedness, and there was born of the first race a new race called man. That was the vision. That was what Enoch was basically saying right here when he says, some of the angels of heavens transgress the word of the Lord. This was the transgression in the book of Oahspe right here, what we just read. Verse 14. And behold, they commit sin and transgress the law, and have united themselves with woman and cohabit sin with them. And they married some of them and have begotten children of them. So what he's telling Lamech is that, in the past, the angels might interbred with man, and Noah is a descendant. From the gene pool, he came about looking like the angels of old. That's what Enoch Lamech, and that's what we're verifying in the Oahspe. And here, check it. Book of Jehovah, chapter 7, verse 21. We're going to seal it. Jehovah said, I do not condemn you because you have become joint procreators with the Asuans, the Adamites. For you have done two services to me, which are first to teach yourselves, referring to the angels, corporeal things, so that you can understand and sympathize with corporeans. And second, you have caused the earth to become populated with those who are capable of immortality.
That was the point of the angelic admixture in the first place. The Asuans or the Adamites, the first men, the hominids and hominins, you know what I mean? Which I'm starting to see that there is a great difference between the two. And the older hominids, right, which come in various types, start to come to a more concise hominin base. You know what I mean? And we see that genetic step down. But what Oahspe reveals is that those early Adamites, those early Asuans, weren't capable of rising up into the higher heavens. So how do you give a godless man God? You breed with him.
The crazy thing about that, they always talking about this common ancestor, the goddamn common ancestor, these goddamn angels.
Is the angels. And this is why through the C allele, you can't find it nowhere. We know it's there. It represents itself right in our DNA. Right? But we don't find it in anything on Earth. It's not in gorillas. It's not in primates. It's not in any of those things. So where do we get this C allele, which is very represented in all humanity, but it's not represented in apes? So
you got the hippocampus, what deals with comprehension, intelligence, and comprehension. And then when you look, that's in the frontal lobe. And when you look at primitive man, the frontal lobe is more compressed down. So they would have lacked the hippocampus, which they would have lacked intelligence. Because you remember, in the early days of primitive man, when they were dealing with the drunks, it was like, if you could tell these niggas about Jehovah, and they'll forget the second right after you tell them. It's like their comprehension wasn't there. It could have been from that hippocampus not being fully developed.
It definitely is. You can tell in the genetic changes in the body. But what we're saying is genes don't just change, right? the genetic would have to already been there. So it's about which genes are cutting on and off. We're not saying that the ancient hominids didn't have an hippocampus or the frontal lobe. It just wasn't as developed in a sense as ours is today. Not that it wasn't there. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. So you would already have to have the DNA coding in your structure to produce frontal lobes. So they just don't, new genes just don't pop out of nowhere. You dig what I'm talking about? I think
I'm about to throw this up to build on to add on top of this. Now look, let's show what the hippocampus did, because you remember a lot of times in the Oahspe, they trying to convey the message and these niggas ain't catching it, right? So show son. Look what it say, the hippocampus. The hippocampus is involved in long-term memory formation and memory retrieval. It also plays a role in spatial memory, allowing individuals to keep track of where objects are and the position of their body relative to the objects around them. And this is where the hippocampus is located, right up in here. But then we look at some of the skulls of primitive man now.
It's flat.
Yeah. You see that? So the comprehension based off the brain would have been different.
Yeah. But the comprehension also would have been exactly what you needed to survive
at the time.
in the world at that time.
Facts.
You dig what I'm talking about? It's not like they weren't totally adapted to their environment. No different than we are today. And to prove that, right? The frontal lobes. Look up the frontal lobes real quick, bro. Because we gonna show what Oahspe is revealing in
show what?
Can you look up frontal lobes?
Yeah, that's what I actually.
Right, because
pull that up.
Because we gonna show what Oahspe is bringing out, right? It in the story of Ahura, right? Ahura the False, aka Cetus, right?
Oh, you talking about that? Yeah. Go ahead.
He was one of his purposes was to try to build or create his own prophets. So he taught the ancient ritual of child headboarding, and what it did was he put a flat part back near the epicanthalus and a flat frontal part and compressed it daily, pushing the reasoning centers, right? The parts of your brain that reason, right? Pushing them high or up towards the top, what they call crown chakra, or light receiving part of your brain, right? Pushing both the epicanthalus and the frontal lobes towards the top of the skull, or the light receiving part of the skull, right?
Look what it says. Because the top part of the skull, where they would have. So if they compressing the frontal lobe into the parietal lobe, they would have compressed it in here, and the function of that would have been vital for sensory perception and integration, including management of taste, hearing, sight, touch, and smell. But it said sensory perception. That's where the angelical communication would have been strong at, in the sensory perception, because they would have been picking up on the sensory. We dealing with senses. We dealing with frequency.
We're dealing with light,
and it would have basically sped up, compression. That's compression.
Correct. And through this process, Ahura was able to find out that you can produce a people, right? A type of person, right, who is able to perceive or hear spirits, which proves that spirits are along the electromagnetic spectrum, either above or below 7 and 400 nanometers,
Right.
meaning that they're moving outside of visible light,
Right.
and but also visible or audible sound, also too.
Right.
You dig what I'm talking about? Remember, this is about senses.
It says sensory perception. I'm gonna pull that out.
Yeah. You know what I mean? This is about senses and how they are perceived. So if you're pushing them towards the more light receiving receptor parts of your brain, you're going to be able to possibly, and what Ahura found out absolutely was that you could produce a people or a person that could see into the higher reaches of light and hear in the higher and lower reaches of sound.
Right.
You know what I mean? In a sense, producing your own self-made prophets, seers, and mediums. Anciently, this has been called jinn. You know what I mean? This is called they in Islam, they spookify it and make it a ghost and all that. But if you go into places like the Sudan, Nubia, right, which have more pyramids than in Egypt by far, right? And but you'll notice they have very small little itty bitty little pyramids where it looked like only about 2 people could fit in, 2 or 3 people at most. Well, in those places, these jinn, right, these men with their compressed foreheads who could see and hear spirits were taught by the angels to teach man in these dark rooms called pyramids. In the pyramids, or over there, they didn't even call them pyramids, they're called mirrors. A mirror is, in a sense, a small school where man is taught directly by the angel through the jinn. This is why they always spookify it. The jinns are the ancient seers and oracles. And even when a country came in to fight and war against you, the jinns were never killed. They never were bombed. They never were torn down, which goes off to hint why these buildings are still existent today. So it's crazy how the correlations have been made over time through different religious understandings, but they far predate them. You know what I mean?
Facts.
So compressing the head came about around 4,000, or it even predates that. I would say about 4,500 BC, right? Which is the time of Ahura.
That's the same cycle of Bracket Patty.
Yep, the Ark of Lu, 22nd arc cycle. That's right. And from 7,053 BC to 3953 BC.
See how we thought these numbers in the time period, you know what I mean?
3,100 years. You know what I mean?
James.
Hold on 1 second.
Yeah, I mean, give me a 1 in the chat if y'all getting this understanding family. You know how we do.
I drop a 1. All praises.
Malaki Maccabee back in the Billy.
Mm-hmm.
He was there the whole time. I'm like, God damn.
Yeah, man. I've been over here trying to feed my face. I just got out work. Boy, I'm live. Stop.
You already nizzle.
Mm-hmm. Man, Cal P be dropping that high science, man.
Hey, man, you know what I mean? You gotta let Cal P go in.
Yeah. He's talking about he gonna do a presentation over Gobekli Tepe and all her sister sites. How they all was like in the same radius of each other, you know what I mean? I was like, bro, yeah, bring that out. And all of it in the very same arc cycle. The very same arc cycle that we talking about. 21st arc cycle. You know what I mean?
And like you say, man, once you understand the timetables of prophecy, you get to throwing them dates around, boy. Like, man, people be looking at you. People, that's when people realize they swimming with the sharks at that moment. Like, damn, nigga, I can't even throw nothing out like that. That was 10,353 BC is something that's very accurate.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? You saying that it's that the arc a day started 10,353 BCE to 7,053 BCE. Like, what's up with the specifics? You ain't even round the numbers. You ain't even say, 10,000 BC to roughly 7,000. No, it says 10,353 BCE to 7,053. That's very specific.
Exactly.
So for these things to be where Oahspe said they were, and by the time the 23rd arc cycle came around, these things was already buried.
Exactly.
Like bro saying, you know what I mean? So for it to be rediscovered in 1994, but was written in Oahspe in 1881, man, that should make you catch chills damn near. Like, damn.
Yeah. When you brought that out, I was like, damn, look at that. Y'all talking shit about the Oahspe, but it just goddamn, you just gave it some validity by showing that it's talking about an astronomy site going back 12,000 years ago, and we find evidence on that archaeologically wise, and they just discovered that shit.
Exactly, bro. It's a recent discovery. It's a recent discovery within the past 30 years.
Exactly. Now check this
You
out.
know what I mean?
This was a presentation I was working on. I never got back around to finishing it, but nonetheless, I just wanted to show it was just dealing with. I was going to be going into the 22nd arc cycle, the cycle of Zarathustra, 9,000 to 6,000 years ago. The cycle of Zarathustra, the 22nd arc cycle. You see on the map right here, time of Zarathustra right there. But what I found interesting when I was doing my research, this is the arc cycle of Zarathustra right here. And if you notice, this predates the of course it predates Egypt, but look at the time period. This is 3953 BC is when the 23rd arc cycle starts. So you remember they said 4004 right here. 4004 is the creation story right here.
Wow.
Remember the Hebrew calendar. But when we look in the 22nd arc cycle, their Hebrew calendar would have started in the Badarian culture in Mesopotamia, and this coincide with the Nakata period in Egypt. So their creation story was during this time period. It's a joke.
Yeah, it's a joke. It's a joke. That's why you got to hurry up and try to force everything into the timeline. You know what I mean? But you look silly as hell talking about some. Look, y'all, the Hebrew calendar, it'll be the year 5784 in a few days.
You see what I'm saying?
They've been using that calendar. They've been using that calendar since the 2nd century.
Exactly.
No, it ain't like, so we can stop playing the games. Like, all right, that's a calendar. People schedule their lives based off what a calendar says. You know what I mean?
Now check this. There's some evidence I found during the time of Zarathustra. The Varna culture, 4500 BC. Look what it say. High status male buried with some of the world's oldest gold jewelry. Look at that. Look at the date. That predate Egypt. That predate Narmer by 1,000 years. But look at the evidence. This is the evidence. Look at that. Look at that. Let me click the article. Look at that. This is the shit that they found during the cycle of Zarathustra. Let me come back up to the actual article. I think this is right here. Sit right here. Look what that say. This is a reconstruction of an elite male burial with some of the world's oldest gold jewelry dating back to what? 4,500 BC. This gold predates Egypt. Varna necropolis grave offerings on the exhibit at the Varna Museum. So these are some of the artifacts going back to the time of Zarathustra. Look at these artifacts. This predate Kemet.
So do.
This predate Egypt.
He got a skinny nose and some fish lips too.
He got European lips. What's going on here?
And
So
a European
Europeans
nose.
is older now? That's what we gonna do?
He don't look like a Bantu Negro from the Congo.
See, they set themselves up. And look where this is at. This is the location. Venice is Belgium. That's where this shit was found. Belgium.
Okay.
Right here. 4,500. But look, Turkey and all that not too far from this region.
Right, exactly.
So essentially, the knowledge had to come down from Turkey and those regions coming down in the goddamn Egypt. If they wanna play the before game. This is another one. Let me put up Arata civilization. I don't know if y'all familiar with the Arata civilization. Look at this one. What that say? Ancient Arata, the world's first civilization. See, it's so much information on shit. Matter of Arata. Hold up. Let me go back to the motherfucking. Let me see if I can get some artifacts. Because it's mentioned in the text. It's mentioned in one of the Babylonian texts. But I think they had a site, Arata civilization. Let me click images. There we go. But you got these civilizations that goes far back. Look what this shit say. Arata, Ukraine is the world's oldest civilization, have been proven from 40,000 BC.
Wow.
This is during the time of Penn.
Sure is, ain't
This is pre-flood. This right here. This where this at. This where this at.
Yeah, that is.
Look at that. What that say? What was the date? Let me pull up.
40,000 BC or something like that.
Right here, right, exactly. Look at that. 40,000 BC. Where does 40,000 BC fit on the timetables of prophecy? Right here. That's right after the first era of civilization, the arc cycle after.
Yeah, that's before the sinking of Pan.
Yeah, the sinking of Pan is right here. The sinking of Pan is 22,553 BC. This is 40,000 years. I mean 40,000 BC. That's one arc cycle after the first era of civilization. The first era of civilization when niggas basically reached to the zenith of civilization, like where we at now. And this is what you have going back 40,000 years ago. It says Arata, Ukraine is the world's oldest civilization and have been proven from 40,000 years. Now let's read in the Oahspe real quick. Let's go ahead and show the validity of the Oahspe, because it says 40,000 years ago it was a zenith of a civilization. Now when we go to the book of let's go to the book of the synopsis of 16 cycles. Let's go there. You know where we're going with it. Let's go to the 10th arc cycle. Where we at? Right here. Right here. The 10th arc cycle. So now, this was under a female, a goddess. The 10th arc cycle was under Missilativis chieftainess. So this is the 10th arc cycle. Let's give you an image of the 10th arc cycle. This is the first era of civilization. This is the 10th arc cycle, right? But let me give you another picture real quick. Where that shit at? Bring it up. Right here, just to make it simple. This is the 10th arc cycle right here. That's where we're at. I'm going to show this with the dates that I had it earlier to show you the time period. That everything we deal with is based off a time period. So coming back right here. Coming back to the first era of civilization, 553 BC. But they said that this older civilization is 40,000 years old. That'll be literally one arc cycle after the 10th arc cycle. So the 10th arc cycle, according to the Oahspe states, this is what was going on. Right here. It said in the 10th arc cycle, what it states? Now the earth was full of people, and the continents and islands of the earth were inhabited by man, nor was there any wilderness left where man did not dwell. So they letting you know during this time period, which is the first era of civilization, that man occupied the whole planet. That's what they saying, right? So coming back to Oahspe, where we at with it? Right here. In the next verse. But the generation of men had fallen from 33 down to 12, and man and woman were at maturity at 7 years old, and not many lived above 30, but they were prolific, many of the mothers bringing forth 2 sons and daughters, from 2 to 4 babies at a time. Now check this. And man dwelt in peace on the earth, tilled, and it brought forth abundantly everything that was good for man to eat and to clothe himself in. In those days, there were great cities of hundreds and thousands of inhabitants, and thousands of such cities in all the 5 great divisions of the earth. And man built ships and sailed over the ocean in all directions around the whole world. By the angels of the Lord, he was taught and guided in all things. And man had books, both written and printed. And in schools, the young were taught the knowledge regarding the sun, moon, and stars. This is before the cycle of Osiris, they was being taught these things. And and all things that were upon the earth and in the water, this was therefore called the first era of civilization. But now check this. Check this out. Check this out where it stated right here. It says right here, and man had books, and both was written and printed in the schools. The young were taught regarding the sun, moon, and stars. Now, this is 40,000 years ago. This is before the cycle of Osiris that they're talking about the sun, moon, and stars. So we have a Rata going back 40,000 years ago. Then we got the first era of civilization, 553 BC, one arc cycle previous from the Errata civilization. So again, we're showing you evidence of the time cycles that the Oahspe is referring to. And look at the evidence. Let me see if I can pull up some pictures of this shit going back. What does it say? Ancient Errata, the world's first civilization. You see what I'm saying? Yes, you help me, I said. So we just want to show that the Oahspe shows you civilization. It shows you archaeological proof that coincide with the time period that the Oahspe is saying. That's all we saying. Talk to me, Melly.
Hey, our people be in denial, bro.
Yeah, man, that shit is heavy right there, man.
And that's all we was saying when she was like, "Can you show us a picture of this Osiris?" I was like, "Dang, this woman is low hanging fruit."
Right.
How many times do I got to tell you when you read Osiris or Apollo or Thor or any of them, they are not worshipped. You know what I mean? And you dealing with the niggas that get worshipped is the niggas that come along later. They usurp the names of famous angels who came and did their business for Jaja arc cycles before, and they just changed the doctrine.
Right.
That way they don't have to labor to establish a name amongst mortals.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? That's the whole reason why you got an Osiris the false and an Osiris the first. You know what I mean? So you would know we wouldn't be able to show you a picture of the Etherian angel Thor. You know what I mean? Even though the Thor in Norse mythology, you know what I mean? Yeah, you can show a picture of him. You can show a picture of the green nigga in spandex sitting on the throne in Egypt named Osiris, but that's not who we talking about.
Right.
And the proof of it is the time periods. That's why I kept trying to, show her the time period.
The proof of the Etherians, because they looking for a deity, like you said, they wasn't deified, so they wouldn't have no images. But the proof is through the inspiration. The cycle of Thor, he was inspiring man to write through the petroglyphic system. That's what I'm looking for now, to show the evidence that the evidence of what they inspired man to do is shown. That's the proof.
Right. We don't need an image of them. Just look at the fruits of their labor.
Exactly.
That's all you do. All you gotta do is look at the fruits of their labor. Like, okay, Gobekli Tepe been buried and been rediscovered.
Right.
After, look, in the very same time period that Oahspe said it was.
Right.
So hey, look, if Oahspe, if Oahspe is not valid through what was just revealed, then Gobekli Tepe shouldn't even beat her.
Right.
It shouldn't even beat her. You know what I mean? Or dated to that time period.
Exactly.
Or called the Hill of Osar.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Or being known as an observatory and a connection to Orion's belt and all that. Well, damn, Osiris was an Orion god. Like, what are we really doing here?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So yeah, they gotta stop that, man.
Yeah, this next level, like even with the Thor, when I did the cycle of Thor, I showed right here the Thor that the Oahspe is talking about, the Orion chief, is 13,000 BC, and the Norris Thor that they was referring to is 800 AD.
Oh,
nigga, that's after Jesus.
Man, I about spilled my yak. Hold on. Hold on. You said that the Thor, that the Norse guys, what's his year? What is it?
800 AD.
Oh my God, this nigga was around when Islam was being formed.
Right, exactly.
And Judaism, man, that's crazy, bro.
Exactly. So with that alone, they cut themselves, because this Thor that the Oahspe is referencing is not the time period that you thinking of, the Greek Thor that's slinging a hammer.
Right, exactly.
And then in the Oahspe it says this is Thor. It says Thor, Orion chief of Daka in Etheria. So just that alone is letting you know that this nigga not even from the planet. He an Orion chief.
Hey, that's what Apostle was trying to. Hey, so it's the thing. It's people that think Hercules and all that in your Bible. You know what I mean? I'm like, boy, y'all you sound like a country bumpkin, boy. You don't know you just sound so low. Stop it. How many times do we got to tell y'all when you hear these names, they are not worshipped?
Right.
You know what I mean? How many times we got to tell y'all that it's like it's going right over your head? You know what I mean?
And like you read yesterday, when you said Osiris laid down the zodiac, and then they gave it to the seers to make the tablets. That's the inspiration. That's knowing Osiris right there. Not finding and looking at it. If you see a picture of Osiris, that ain't gonna prove nothing. That ain't gonna prove that where his observatory's at, that he said he's gonna inspire mortals to do.
Man, look, what Oahspe say? Oahspe said if the naysayer could chop up the creator into quarters and examine the creator, I'm paraphrasing, the naysayer still wouldn't believe. It say creator was something tangible that you could actually handle and chop into pieces, quarter off, and sell for a price. Y'all monkey ass wouldn't still believe it. You wouldn't believe it. It still wouldn't believe it. Right. You know what I mean? So the whole thing is about you got to be vibrating at a certain rate to receive what we talking about.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
They definitely not on the levels. Because even here, like with the what is the purpose of Osiris? I mean of Thor, or what is the inspiration of Thor? God foresaw that knowledge of one generation could be handed down to the next by altars and temples, by idols and images, and by paintings, and by painted signs and engraven words. And through all these things are in fact false, as a written word is not a word, but an image of an idea that has been spoken. So by symbols, God conveyed the living truth. Verse 2, God said, behold, with my sacred people I have established myself in written words. Now will it come to pass that all the races of man on earth shall be made to know me. So he's coming up with a written system. Long story short, this written system is the petroglyphic system. This shit right here. This is the archaeological evidence of the cycle of Thor, which is even older than Gobekli Tepe and them boys. This site goes back perhaps 10,000 to 15,000 years ago. The oldest known petroglyph on the continent. And this is in America. These petroglyphs you see on here is in America. Somebody had to draw this 10 to 15,000 years ago. And then when you come here, you see some more of the petroglyphs coinciding with the time period. So here's evidence of the cycle of Thor. This is what he inspired mortal to do. The petroglyphic system. What are petroglyphs?
That's cold, bro. That is cold.
Look at this. What are petroglyphs? Petroglyphs are images carved on the surface of rocks. What the Oahspe say? What the Oahspe say? Lord's 4th book, chapter 1, verse 8. Then God said, when you have made the picture of a spear, behold, it is a spear. When you desire to show which way it goes, you shall add to the graven image the likeness of a spear, and the way it points shall show the way man goes. And you shall express the going of everything on earth in heaven in the same way, with the spear showing its direction. So they're giving you a description of how the petroglyphic system is used. So if you see this picture right here, if you see sheep or deers going this way, if you were a gatherer hunter and you came to this rock as a gather hunter, you would know that this is the direction that deers are in. So you know that to go this way, to go get your meat, to go get your sheep. Same thing with this. And keep in mind, this is in Utah. This is in America right here. This is going back 10 to 15,000 years ago, and this is in America. And here, this picture right here is in Africa. This is Namibia. So you got Namibia showing the exact same concept of a petroglyphic system moving in one direction, because this is the direction the sheep are going. And if you notice, in Namibia, across the continent, you see the exact same petroglyph, but look at the directions of the sheep. They're all pointing in one direction this way. So if I'm a gather hunter and I want to find meat, I look at this on the rock, and they let me know that, if I go this way, this is where I will find giraffes. This is where I will find horses and goats. And what did the Oahspe say? What did the Oahspe say? Thus, man made a written language, and in every region of the earth, by many men, these things were done according to the light of God upon them. So they accomplished the written language of thousands of tribes. See that? We're not playing around. What did it say? God said, this shall be called the panic language, Oahspe, Asiago, earth language, because it is made of earthly images. And in later times, whoever desires to find the first written words of men shall have recourse to the pictures of all things on earth and in the water and in the air above the water. And here is the proof that we're dealing with the petroglyphic system during the cycle of Thor. This is what the inspiration of Thor brought, the petroglyphic system, which is the precursor of hieroglyph and all the Paleo-Hebrew and all the languages, because this go back thousands of years before that. Easy work. Cosmo say drop the link.
Man, easy. Man, bro, that's amazing.
Facts.
That's what I'm saying. Like, Oahspe is validated based off the things that were written in it in 1881, but are just recently being discovered.
Facts.
See, that right there makes it a primary and it's prophetic. You know what I mean? They just digging these things up 30 years ago.
Exactly.
They just discovering these things. They just discovering through the use of the James Webb telescope and the Hubble and all that, the whirling galaxies and the vortices and all that.
Exactly.
These things were written down way before modern man discovered it.
Exactly.
In our time. So that's what makes it relevant. You know what I mean? So whenever they be like, well, give an example. We show and prove and give examples, give time periods, give a place you can reference. You know what I mean? That way can't nobody say, oh man, that's who you follow. No, he pulled up a timetable and showed me.
Exactly. Mashed it
Showed
up.
me, yeah, mashed it up, and then pointed to a time in history of recent archaeological discovery, and it's dated to the same time period.
Exactly.
And he pulled out several articles. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Saying the same thing. Like, what more else do you need? You know what I mean? And
Exactly.
but that ensures that you're knowing a thing for you. You know what I mean? Like, you ain't just running around here believing something. That's why she couldn't give me a date. I asked her what date was the flood. She said around 4,500 years ago. She's just throwing numbers.
Exactly. Exactly. She don't know what she doing.
Now, what do you don't know if you coming or going? 4,500 years ago was 2,500
Right here. What she said, the
BCE.
flood. Right there. They go to flood right here. Right here. 2348. Roughly around that time.
Yeah,
That's the time of the flood.
that's the time of the flood according to the Bible. 4,500 years ago. No. We gonna give you a lot more room than that. Oahspe is 25,000 years ago.
Right.
Try that on.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
And we can give you something you can go reference and look and prove. It says it's a sunken continent. And it names the ocean, the Pacific Ocean. Ask yourself, how did John Newbro know that in 1881?
Exactly.
It wasn't no satellites. It wasn't no
Exactly.
type of thermo imaging, and it wasn't none of that.
Exactly.
It wasn't no 4K, and you know what I mean? It was no
Right.
iPhones, and it wasn't no internet. How did he know to write in there that the flood happened when the continent of Pan was sunk in the Pacific Ocean? So, being curious like myself, I'm a curious spirit. I said, let me go look at the Pacific Ocean and see. And I was like, let me look at it from above. Let me look at the Pacific Ocean and see if there's any evidence of a
There you go.
sunken continent. You dig? And bruh, man, oh man, that ring of fire, boy. Oh man, I about
Kill
drop my phone. I about drop my phone.
it. And check this shit out. All that shit about these niggas want to talk about Israel. The whole history of Israel is within the 24th arc cycle, what you see right here. The Exodus with Moses is 15 mid-century. Middle Kingdom, the ending of the Middle Kingdom. The rise of Israel took place around 10th century BC. And that's actually when Baal inspired Israel to create the kingship. And then the kings of Israel and Judah, they reigned from 1025 BC and went into captivity in 722 BC. Look how small the span of Israel history is. And by 586 BC, they in captivity. But the reign of Israel is only 400 years. They only reigned for like roughly 400 years before they went into captivity. And then when they came out of captivity, they came back with the Tanakh, which was automatically written by by Ezra. And then after the Tanakh came the Septuagint, 286, Ptolemy II. And then 325 AD, you got the New Testament with Constantine and the collection of the books. Then right after that, you got the rise of Muhammad. All that's in the 24th arc cycle. That's the whole history of Israel, Islam, and Christianity in one arc cycle. And y'all talking about, y'all want to go in the, y'all want to do, what? Y'all say who? You want to talk about the chosen and the salvation? Nigga, your whole history is based off one arc cycle.
One arc cycle.
Of 3,000 years.
It gotta be. See, a lot of calendar ain't even 6,000 years.
Exactly. Let me pull up that calendar.
Calendar ain't even 6,000 years. So of course the history is inside one arc cycle.
This their whole history right here. Matter of fact, this is the two arc cycles together. This is the 23rd and the 24th side by side. This is the whole construct from the creation of the Hebrew calendar to Jesus right here. All in this front. This is the whole existence of biblical canonical history right here. And it's
23rd and 24th arc cycle.
The whole history of what they know as biblical history, from the creation story to your Noah story, to your Abraham, Shimham, and Japheth coming on down stories, to Moses, to Jesus, all is within the 23rd and the 24th arc cycle after the creation of man for us.
Wow.
So your whole timeline is flawed, and it's not consistent, and it's inaccurate. So Damn, that's, I don't know what to tell you, because look at the flood on this chart. Look at the flood. It says 2106 BC. That's not too far from what it said right here, when it said that the flood is 2348 BC. So if it's 2348 BC, and we got that 2123, we'll be right here. It'll literally be the Old Kingdom, right up in here. So this would be the flood. This time period between the Old Kingdom and the Middle Kingdom of Egypt supposed to be the flood. And we got real documented history that there ain't no flood during that time period. Ain't no Noah's Ark floating around. Shem, Ham, and Japheth was already building pyramids during this time. Ham was already building pyramids during this time. Pyramids was being erected during the time of the flood.
Man, that's crazy, bro. Wow.
You had Khufu over there putting it. Matter of fact, look at the time. Matter of fact, look.
That nigga Khufu.
Time. Let's see what the time of Khufu.
That nigga Khufu was breaststroking in the waters. Dang.
Look at this. Khufu pyramid. Look at the time period. Let's see. Let's see if we get a time period right here. Let me get a time period. Quick, fast. They goddamn Wikipedia when you need them.
Mm-hmm.
All right, there you go right there. Listen, right at the top and shit. All right, let's go over. All right. Let's see what the date of the pyramid. This pyramid constructed 2570 BC. This is the construction of the pyramid of Khufu in the Old Kingdom. And this is when the flood took place. The flood, the pyramid was here already when the flood came, according to the Bible narrative.
Wow. Well, it should be water erosion, massive water erosion or something on them. Evidence of that shit. The pyramid shouldn't even be here then.
Exactly. Look at that.
Oh, you know what I mean?
That's cold-blooded. Matter of fact.
If the flood, because that's 2,500, and the flood is like they say 2,300, so it's like 200 years later. Is that what they're saying?
I'm gonna go to the goddamn Egyptian ruler who was ruling during the time of the flood of Noah.
This
is sad.
Damn.
This is sad. Look at that, man. We just coming on down the line. Oh shit! Hold up. That's crazy, yo. Yeah. This shit cold-blooded.
Man, yeah, around what is that? 23 something.
Yeah, I'm trying to get to 23. Yeah, 23. The biblical date is 2348. So I'm trying to get to some of the pharaohs. Some of the pharaohs from that time period. I think we still in the 25th dynasty with these niggas. These shit is crazy.
Man.
Okay.
False guys been playing us like puppets.
Yeah. No, for real.
Been getting played with.
For real.
You know what I mean?
For real, that's real shit. So the closest they got was that. What was it again? 2348.
2348.
2348. Damn, that shit don't even go back that far. Hold on. Let me see. This shit crazy, yo.
Man, you gotta be real with yourself. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's real, yo.
Gotta keep it real first. For anybody listening that still may be on the fence or whatever, be real with yourself when you researching and examining and stuff. Whether it's text or literature or scriptures or spiritual, whatever you're doing, be real with yourself. Be honest with what you're feeling. Be real with what you read and you understand it.
Now look at this. We got Sargon. We got Sargon the Great. So the flood was 2348. Around this time historically, you got Sargon the Great right there. It's a little bit before him.
So Sargon the Great should have been a witness of the flood.
Facts. You're right. He would have been right in the boat.
He would have been right there. All right. So what? So is there any documentation that he witnessed the flood?
Exactly.
Come on, that's right there. Whether it was before him or after him, he lived close enough to witness.
Right. He was there.
Regardless if it came before he became that ruler after, bro. He was there. That's close enough. That's close enough for him to be a witness.
Exactly. That's what 23, 48, and he's 23, 34. That's not even goddamn 10 years or some shit. That's under 10 years.
It's 14 years.
Yeah, some shit like that. Yeah. So he would have been there.
Yeah, he would have witnessed it, regardless if it happened 14 years earlier or after he became king. He still would have witnessed. So, are there any writings of Sargon? Because you talking about a worldwide flood,
right?
A worldwide flood. Is there any evidence? Does he talk? This would have had to been the biggest event in his history.
But check this though. If there is evidence of a flood, this would fall under Anu-Hassaj. Because around this time, Anu-Hassaj is running the scene. He running supreme right now around this time.
Right.
And his influence would have been right up in it, because Osiris was up under Anu-Hassaj, and Osiris' dominion was Egypt, Northeast Africa, which would include Mesopotamia. So this is this. See what I'm saying?
Hey, we showed that yesterday too. We showed that green nigga in spandex, and then we showed ball. And how they both was, they had on just similar clothing.
See that?
They both was sitting on the throne. They both was in that tight ass dress. They both were holding two things in their hands, and they both had on similar headdress.
Look what these niggas doing 14 years after the flood. Fragments of Victoria Stella of Sargon showing Sargon with the royal hair bun. This nigga got a royal hair bun.
Hold on. No, because only 8 people survived the flood, right?
Right.
So what he doing in his...
How he get there?
How the hell he get there?
He's supposed to be Shem.
Yeah, Shem, Ham, Japheth, whatever.
Yeah, that's supposed to be them niggas.
But I'm saying, like, shit, he shouldn't. It shouldn't be no 14 years after the flood for him.
Right.
Only 8 people got off that boat.
Exactly. That's
Only
what I'm
8.
saying. So around this time, Shem would have still been living.
Yeah. And this nigga right here, wouldn't have been around.
This nigga got a hair bun on. That's what. Look, that's what he's.
Got a hair bun.
This nigga Sargon wearing the hair bun.
Hey, you remember the movie Baby Boy?
Yeah.
He got jumped by some little niggas. And then him and his homeboy went over there and got on him, right? And then he got his stuff back, and he was like, "Bitch ass nigga with beads." Bitch ass nigga with beads.
That's hard. That's crazy. Oh, shit. That's hilarious, nigga. But look at this. Look at it. Says prisoners escorted by a soldier on a Victoria Stella of Sargon of Akkad, 2300 BC. Probably from the end of Sargon's reign. The hairstyle of the prisoners, curly hair on the top and short hair on the sides, is characteristics of Sumerians, as also seen on the standard of Ur Lure Museum. Now look at this. This is going on right during the flood. You got prisoners.
Come on, man. It only supposed to be 8 people after the flood. What you doing with whole cities and colonies? And niggas is already in stone. You know what I'm saying? It's like, come on, man, stop it.
Look at this nigga. This nigga look like a Roman.
Wow. He showed it.
He like a Roman.
Well, he got a weapon of war in his hand, boy.
Right.
Motherfucking Roman.
Look at this. Prisoner in a cage. Probably King Lugalazagiza, however, of Uruk. Being hit on the head with a mace by Sargon of Akkad. These niggas at war. This is the time of and keep in mind, This is the time of Anu Hassaj. And keep in mind, Anu Hassaj had 1,000 years of war. This is during the time of the Book of Wars, and we see war.
Okay.
And we coincided with history with that. This is the 23rd arc cycle we talking about. I mean the 23rd arc cycle.
23rd, yeah.
Yeah, this is the matter of fact. Let me come back to the chart. Watch this.
The rise of Anu Hassaj.
Yeah, watch this. Where that? Come on, right here. Right there. What we saying right there? Look at that. The rise of Anu Hassaj was 3753 BC. The Battle of 1,000 Years. The Battle of 1,000 Years roughly ended around 2753, but it didn't end. It continued on. So around 23, Anu Hassaj is in full reign. He in full reign when this is going on right here. When this is going on with Sargon. Anu Hassaj behind that.
See?
Ashtar off. This is Mesopotamia we talking about.
Headshot. Body
I'm gonna say prisoner in the cage, probably king, whoever of Uruk, being hit on the head with the mace by Sargon of Akkad. He hit this nigga upside the head. Boop. Knock that nigga out. These niggas at war. And keep in mind, we just showed prisoners up here. They dealing with war. Look, prisoners escorted by a soldier. We dealing with a time of war. But keep in mind, the start of this war started with Narmer. Narmer is 3200 BC. That's the first piece of evidence we see showing warfare on the Narmer palette, and that's within the Battle of 1,000 Years. But when we go before the Battle of 1,000 Years, when we go to the Nakata period, we don't see no signs of warfare during the Nakata period. None at all. The time you see warfare is when you get to 3200 BC with Narmer. So Oahspe is right on, because it said the first 200 years, after the first 200 years, it was peaceful. Niggas was basically in the highlight of the cycle. That first 200 years of light. Then after that first 200 years of light, Anu Hassaj rose up. He proclaimed to be the Lord God. He gave niggas a 7-day creation story, what we know today. And this is what you have in your Bible, the Book of the Lord, the Book of Wars of the Lord. In the Oahspe, it's called the Battle, the Book of Wars against Jehovah. And this is a time when the nations, through the false gods, strove against the Creator. Building monuments and temples, you thinking is great archaeology, which it is, but these were dedicated to deities of false deities. So Sargon showed, the time period of Sargon shows the time period of warfare, which coincide with the time in the Oahspe, the Book of Wars. See? You're not just making this shit up. You know what I mean? Easy work, family. Give me a one in the chat if y'all getting this understanding, if y'all enjoying the vibe. Let's run the rhythm for a minute. We ain't run the rhythm for a hot minute. Run the rhythm. My wife running around in the background.
Looking crazy.
I see you. What you say? Yes, family. You know what I mean? Creator Gang is in the building. I see y'all in the chat. Salute. You know, we undefeated out here, man. We follow Creator. You rocking with Creator, you can't lose. You know what I mean? It was a nice vibe. We've been on for 3 hours. It's been an excellent vibe. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to go ahead and sign off in a minute. Shout out to Malaki Maccabee for coming through. Cosmo and Cal, Young Prince coming through. Whole Creator Gang in the chat. We up. You know what I'm saying? We up on somebody. God fell last night. It's obvious. You know what I'm saying? And it's easy to see, yo. Oahspe clearing the block. Oahspe the new sheriff in town. We running the show. Believe that, family. And with that, your boy Sila Shalom is about to, guess what? I'm about to boogie woogie up out of here, family. I'm about to boogie woogie up out of here, family. Hello. I'm out of here, family. It's a blood clot vibes. We out of here.